Hello everybody and welcome to this Let's Play. Today I'm joined by Jack and Theo, the Lazy Forger, to talk about full spectrum dominance and show you my complete inability to strategize in a fantastic new way. So great to have you both with me.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting us.
Full spectrum dominance then.
Yeah.
What are we looking at here? What is the game that we're going to be playing today?
So this surprisingly small setup is a full setup of full spectrum dominance. That's our small scale. 6mm can go up to 15mm if you want. Miniature, like combined arm miniature war game. The whole idea of this is to play something that works as a skirmish but feels like a combined arms with a bit of everything in it, and be able to field on a very small space on a very in a relatively constrained time, and also like preparing everything within a short time in a way to have the possibility to play an indie game of something full painted without spending an enormous amount of money and time to make it. So small scale and small table, both of them combined makes for a very practical game. And what we're going to play today is something that is even smaller and even faster, which is a so-called blitz scenario. It's a bit shorter than a normal scenario, about 2/3 of the points, about 2/3 of the rounds. And at the end of the day, it contains everything that a full scenario has. It lacks a bit in the potential of strategizing because, of course, you have a bit less time, a bit less troops. But it really kickstarts the game at the first round, at the very start of the first round, and it allows both players to understand the game, especially if you're testing it or showing it to someone like today.
So what is the actual scenario objectives that we're going to be playing?
So the current scenario is structured, like, aside from the specific terrain, which really depends on what the players have, what the group wants to play with. The scenario here is the last scenario in the book, and it is called Data Dump. Basically, there's going to be a central mainframe. In this case, it's a landed conglomerate flyer. Crushed, yes.
Landed aggressively.
Yes, aggressively landed flyer, which contains some information, and every round it's important at the end of every round to control as much as possible, as long as possible, the landed crashed flyer. And then the control of the 4 so-called drives in this scenario. In this case, it's clearly some drop pods of the same faction, which is neither of the one we're playing with, which have some important drives. Each player will need to control the drives on the other side of the table and possibly either read the drive immediately to get a bit of points, or drag the drive, so extract it from there and drag it back to the original deploy zone to make twice the points, basically. Okay.
So, Theo, what are you going to be taking in this game?
I will play with the Tex, that is the archetypical sentient robots faction. So big robots that can jump, hordes of robot soldiers, and these cute spider robots. And they have basically the sort of horde vibe, but like they cannot be pinned. They have the ability of use some particular character, the AI that can switch from a unit from a unit to another, and yeah, it will be infantry heavy, and my goal will be mostly to jump behind your tanks and try to get them from behind, or punch them from behind.
On the other side, I chose for you a very standard human faction, which is the most vanilla one, the one that gives you the chance to experiment a bit more with all directions of strategies.
The easiest one for my simple mind.
It might be easier, but it's also like it's easier to actually decide your strategy as you go, which is good for a starter player.
Yes.
And it covers most of the standard human factions, and that's it. It has a bit of tanks, it has a bit of infantry, it has very efficient transports, and some quirky things that we'll see during the game.
Okay. I'm intrigued to see how this goes. We'll be right back for the start of turn 1 in just 1 second. All right then, turn 1. What's the first thing that we need to do in a game?
So, before starting the first round of the game is divided, this scenario is going to be divided in 4 rounds. Before the start of the first round, there is the setting up phase. Basically, beginning with the round, you will roll for the initiative of the round, but then you will start to set up things basically before the game in a very simple way. You just alternate placing 1 unit each until both of you are fine. Whatever is not set up on the table at this phase, it becomes reserves, and the reserves, together with reinforcements that come after during the game, will be deployed during the game using a slightly different mechanics.
Okay.
So
for initiative,
you have to roll a simple d6 using the higher command among the things that you have available to set up at the beginning of the game.
In my case, it's a command 3, Socrates battle rig.
and I've also got command 3 with my tank commander.
So you're even.
Just the dice.
Some straight dice.
1.
3.
So you get to start the setup.
I've won. It'll be the only roll I win in this game. So the setup zone then
For this scenario is 2du. The distance in this game are all measured in an arbitrary value, which for this scale, for this table size is 3 inches. So instead of using rulers, instead of having to measure every single inch and discuss on it, there are pretty chunky distances. That's how you measure distances. You want to change your scale. You want to play on a larger table because you have it. You just change the value of a du and play.
Okay.
The game is the same. In this case, 2du means a fourth of the table, a sixth of the table is just
yeah,
a fourth of the table, actually. It's just that.
I'm going to start with my troop carrier.
Okay, which carries the infantryman in it.
Yes. And I'm going to, shockingly, bring them in here.
Convenient.
What about facings and the like for vehicles and infantry? Are there any? Is there anything I should be worried about? I don't want to drive straight into a wall right in turn 1. That would be terrible.
The movement, like at every time, the movement is broken in straight lines of 1du, and before each segment, you can rotate in any direction. It's a bit abstracted. You're looking at things from far behind, far above. You don't care too much about that.
Okay.
But you must keep the facing of the last movement. So if you're running the maximum of your distance towards somewhere, you will be facing that way. If you have 1du left, you can basically turn and move 0, so that's fine. But otherwise, you will find yourself in many situations where the facing is important, but not now. Like at the beginning of the round, you're good.
That's fine. I'm down then.
You are done. It's my turn, and I will probably put the heavy droid infantry around here in cover behind this wall and this building.
I trust you on that. I cannot see that far.
I just
look at them hiding.
Yeah, they're hiding.
I can see them in the video. That's great.
Hey, that's meta.
Yes.
So those are the heavy droids.
Okay, I will go with my energy tank next.
Energy tank is particularly effective against infantry compared to other heavy stuff. So it makes sense to use it accordingly.
I mean, a more tactical person would wait until all the infantry are down before they deploy them, but I'm not. So there you
Fair
go.
enough.
That's how that one works. Oh, him down there.
So
he's got a friend.
I will keep going with the infantry. This time the regular tiny droids that can be up to 2du, so not in contact with this building. Not even this one. They will stay here, safe, hiding for now.
Safe.
The way the cover works for infantry shows that in this case, for instance, it's contact with a linear obstacle, so it's in cover. It doesn't see through because it's a short infantry. The obstacle is tall, whatever. But if you get in touch with something that is considered as passable, like a building, even if you're in front of it, if you're touching it in an abstract way, you are actually still using the cover of the building, which allows infantry or whatever to be well protected even when facing the enemy.
Yeah,
and
the idea is the infantry sort of go in the crooked places where they can hide, try to get a cover.
And that makes infantry effective even when it's kind of weak.
Yeah.
What about terrain building elements then? Can you occupy buildings? Are they obstructions or impassable?
So the problem with buildings that can be occupied that other games have is that usually it implies that the building itself needs to have flat space, and that is a compromise on aesthetics that I didn't want to make. Simple as that. So in a very abstract way, if you're touching a building, you are sort of inside it.
Okay.
And that gives you cover. Of course, it is an abstraction to a point, but it allows you to still make use of a lot of the different kind of terrain. You can go through buildings if you're infantry, not if you're mechs or if you're vehicles, and that allows you to give. I mean, it gives yet another advantage to infantry. Then, of course, when the infantry gets caught in fire, it's
the open,
kind of lost.
Yeah.
So
Infantry is usually very weak if it's not working as infantry should.
exactly,
Well, I'm going to pop a couple of armored infantry there.
that's nice.
Yeah,
Is there anything you have to worry about squad coherency-wise, or is
Yes.
there a distance that...
The general idea is that you should want to have all the squad within 1 DU.
Okay.
Or at least between the parts, it has to be 1 DU. And it gives you a sort of coherence. In general, the way targeting works, it really discourages spreading your squads too much, because then you
Okay.
become target from so many different things that you don't want that.
Okay, that's fine.
In the meantime, I put the 3rd infantry behind this 3rd building, so it's your turn as well.
I'll not worry too much about those. Or will I? No, I won't.
Well, for now they are pretty entrenched.
So I have scouts,
Yes.
and those scouts have got the potential to infiltrate.
Yes. Speaking of quirky, you can decide to play the scouts right now. They act like normal infantry. They have the ability of, like, they cannot be targeted if the enemy is not like very close to you, like only 2 to use. But you can also keep them in reserve. As we were saying, you can decide not to deploy everything you have. And in that case, you can deploy them later in most of the table. Like most of the places where you don't have an enemy unit within 2 DU, you can actually drop them there. Scouts itself is not very powerful, but it gives you the ability to both control objectives, maybe somewhere where there are no enemies, it's really convenient, because you can deploy them on the objective if there are no enemies within the 2 DUs. Also, you can use them for other abilities. As we were saying before, you have infantry, you have vehicles, you have all kinds of units, but you also have support cars. This support card in particular is pretty much as powerful as a normal tank shot, but it requires only that any scout is in line of sight of the target, which means that that shot will be used every round you can shoot, and every round, as long as there is a scout that is not pinned, that is somewhere in a useful place, you can shoot without need to worry about the tank being destroyed.
I can drop guided missiles on them. In that case,
You
my
can.
scouts will not go down now. I think we'll keep those off and attempt to infiltrate them in,
Yes.
which just leaves my tank commander then.
That's the last one, yes.
That's my last, and I think he is going to have to go with the other armor. I'll just keep him there for the time being.
The tank commander allows you to do a special ability that you run when you activate the unit, but it doesn't count in the limits of the units, and it allows everyone to move 1 action, like to do 1 extra movement after that action that round. And that's really powerful, especially at the first round.
Okay.
While
Well, I am done.
you are done, I
still
will
using
go.
it.
I did put the infantry already, so now I will go with the 2 heavy hitters that are
At that point, you don't have anything else, so
Yep.
he just
sort
continues.
of partially hide. Like, yeah, this building should be enough for the first round. And so we are. I already set to the 2 AI of the techs. I gave 1 the sentient AI to the heavy droids, and the pilot AI to the Xenobattery, that is the tinier one.
The special ability of the tech is that they can reroute their AIs, which are their characters, the way the characters works for them, and every round they can place them whenever they want at the beginning of the round, which means that they cannot die. If you kill them, you just remove
just
them from them and
Go
place
back
them
to the
elsewhere.
cloud and
Exactly.
Get
download it again.
downloaded somewhere else next
Exactly.
time.
Exactly.
Okay.
On the other hand, you have human characters, so if your tank dies, you also lose the commander. It's pretty bad. But you can command stuff, and the ability of the enlisted is that the commanded stuff can command other stuff as long as the command value gets lower.
Oh, you can have your chain of command.
Exactly.
It saves you a lot
Top
of dice if you use it wisely.
Okay.
Maybe in this match it's not that useful, but it can be very powerful in some
You can
lists.
do long chains of actions
Yeah.
and combine your
Yes.
Okay.
army. Okay.
So,
Ready
done and
to-
dusted. I had the initiative. Does that mean I go
You-
first still?
You definitely have the initiative, and now we can properly start the first round. The first thing that happens is that you use this that are definitely not D6s, because if you start using them as D6s and roll them, it's going to be messy.
Because you mixed up with
use
other dice.
use dice that have a different shape, different size, whatever. Like they don't.
Shape.
Yeah, the shape is the same.
shape is the
You're
same,
right.
but
At least
color,
the color. At least
yeah.
the color, yes. And you roll 8 of them at the beginning of every round, if you have them. There are 10 here, so the other 2 are already moved into the spent pile.
Okay.
And those are the dice that you use to activate, to react, and to use to play most of the special actions.
So on these cards, there are different values, and dice with those faces can be assigned to these when you're playing then. So to use the energy cannon on my energy tank, I need to get a 5 or 6, at
Yes.
least on one of these.
Exactly.
So,
We'll see how to use them
Yeah.
now that it's rolled. Once you roll them, you can choose any number and re-roll them. That really depends on the kind of strategy, the kind of list you made. You can make any kind of list. There are no proper limits other than the points, but some lists will not work because will require only one kind of dice. All the other dice will be not very useful. In this case, you definitely need the 1 if you want to use the tank commander, and at the first round, it's really good to have it.
Yep.
You might want something like that also for the guided missile because it's convenient, but then you also need something like that because
the
you said you
scouts.
wanted to put the scouts in some cool
Yeah.
place. That's convenient. All things combined, maybe you want to reroll something to use a bit more to get a bit more of low results.
yeah.
You also want the
It's-
6s. The 6s are
It's
good.
so unusual for me to roll so high.
That's
5s
because
and
you
6s
needed
are great.
lower numbers. So
Well,
that
of
was
course.
technically a bad roll.
I will reroll a couple of 4 just to. Yeah,
I-
exactly.
Yeah,
Just
maybe roll
wanted-
this 3. Maybe 3 of them, just
think-
because
think
otherwise
3.
you get nothing. And yeah, you got 1. See, just
3.
1. That's exactly how much you needed. And
3 would work for my infantry anyway, wouldn't it?
That's true. That's
what
true.
am I
That's
getting?
true.
Let's
You're
say,
right.
yeah, I'm fine.
I
I'm
will
fine.
put- I will
I've
put
got a
it, yeah.
wealth of requisite action dice.
a 5 here. So since the
So-
dice are used also to activate and react, for those you don't need a specific number. So if you have a bit of rubbish dice, just a few of them, you're going to use them perfectly anyways. If it's too many of them, then it gets problematic.
Yeah.
Okay. So have our action dice. And next thing up is allocating them then, or
So at this point, it would be your first turn because within a round you have alternating turns. But before that, just to avoid that you just do everything at once, the opponent, the one who lost initiative, gets the opportunity to place some of the dice on the cards.
To do any reaction in case you just like pop out here and start being menacing from the
Yeah.
very beginning.
Exactly.
I'm always menacing from the beginning.
Yeah, usually that's what opponents do. And so I will probably put one, this 4 on the Socrates light cannon.
So in case
Yeah.
he gets menaced, at least he
I
gets to shoot.
have the possibility of react.
Otherwise,
Usually-
he would just use the free action, which is not really good.
Yeah, usually the reaction is convenient because you react before the opponents shoot at you, but it means that you will do just one action for that round compared to the standard 2 action that you use during your normal turn.
And you don't get to use the commanding where you activate one unit that activate others. So you're going to spend 1 die just to react, 1 die to shoot with a good weapon, maybe 2 of them. So you're going to use a lot of your resources that round just for one specific thing. It's costly.
But sometimes it's worth
It can be
it.
amazing, yes.
It's okay.
Definitely
I've done.
Don't
Go.
need to add any more reactions.
It's okay.
I think you're safe.
I think you're.
I imagine you are.
I feel
He's
safe.
way behind a wall, basically.
Well,
I'm behind a building.
So do I allocate all of the dice for my turn now that I want to allocate, or can I allocate some later on?
You can do both. Like you can
Okay.
allocate as many dice as you want right now. The problem is you don't have enough dice to do everything with everything.
Yes.
So you allocate it now, you will not be able to change it later. You might want to not allocate them, but then you don't get to react. So in general, allocate what you need for this activation and allocate what you want for reactions in the future. That's it. Other allocations would be better to be done like when you know the situation at the moment.
And also could be risky because like here I allocated 1 dice already. If by chance you one-shot this mech, I lose this dice.
Yeah, and that die becomes spent. So for the round,
if I keep it here, I can wait to see the situation before using it.
It happens many times.
Way more than it should.
That's what I like to hear. Okay, I've got a bevy of beautiful things. I do want to run forward and start seizing. The problem with going first in a blitz is obviously you leave yourself at the mercy of your opponent for a counter punch. But at the same time, I'm by nature an aggressive person, so so I might do something a little bit capricious and unwarranted, or maybe I won't. If I want to use my commander's ability, he has to activate, or can that be activated separately?
You need to activate the unit to use the ability of the commander.
Okay.
Each unit, when activated, usually, well, unless there are special rules, will do 2 actions, will be able to do up to 2 actions. The commander ability, the character abilities, though, are in addition to that. So it costs you 1 activation die, then 1 to activate the unit, but you still get to do 2 actions with the commander, which is pretty good.
Okay. Well, I think
at the same time, since you're going to command possibly, looking at the table, it looks like you're going to command probably another 2 units. You might want to put the dice for those 2 units now, because now is the time where you put the dice, then you do your activation, your turn, then the turn passes to your opponent.
Okay. I will do that. I will do that. And my troop carrier.
So you loaded the energy tank. Nice.
Yes, because you never know your luck.
And the other one is a troop carrier, which is loaded with troops too.
It is loaded with troops. It does have light MG. If I want to disgorge my troops, do I have to pay for them separately with an additional activation dice?
You don't, because the tank is gonna command the energy tank and the troop carrier. The troop carrier, again, has 2 actions. One of them, which is free, so you don't need any extra AD, is load or unload the troops.
Okay.
The unload of the troops is a deploy. As I was saying before, you have the setup at the beginning of the game, but during the game you have deploying. Deploying costs no activation dice. The units appear in any deploy area, or in this case, in contact with the troop carrier or whatever transporting vehicle it is. And at that point, the unit will do only 1 action.
Okay.
Because it will lose 1 of the 2 actions for being deployed. But it costs no extra AD. So with this tree, you're good.
Okay. I think I'm going to go ahead with
That's pretty good.
just that for now. He said, actually, no, I will put that on the main battle tanks cannon.
That's actually a good idea.
Yeah. And then they're locked in. Now I spend one of these, so it moves from active to inactive to activated unit. And the first one I want to do is my main battle tank.
Yes. Also because it's the one that commanding the others, so you have to activate that one before you do anything else.
So I'm going to
use the special ability. You can rotate it slightly. I'm not allowed to say other words for that, but let's call it rotate it slightly.
Yes.
And that marks that one activated for this round. You can do stuff with it.
Okay. So he can move 3DU.
Yes.
And as we know, gets to turn first and then do his movement.
Yes.
So
you can even move twice in a round. The 2 actions could be both movement, but the second one would be 1 DU slower than the previous one.
Okay.
Unless you're moving 1 DU to begin with. At that point, you just do 1 DU.
So I'm just going to turn to there. Can you move through?
You can pass through your allied units, not through enemies, but you cannot go through like a barricade. In that case, you will need to stop into contact with it and spend 1 DU just to cross it.
I will do
that makes more sense, yes.
And then I will do 2 to there.
And then you have 1 more.
And then I will turn. And I'm just going to go, oops.
That makes a lot of sense.
To there.
So that's the first action. Oh, you actually see something.
Yeah, he can see me.
It's not super close. There are cover elements in between, but you definitely see both the infantry and probably also the
infantry?
Socrates.
The infantry is, say it's very well.
Yeah,
It's behind the wall, but the Socrates.
I see a corner of the base. It's not enough. You're right.
Okay, yeah. The Socrates
You
definitely.
totally
is.
see the Socrates. Yes.
That's what I like to hear.
We don't use true line of sight.
Okay.
We tend to have like just rectangles, like moving like prisms, that kind of logic. But if you have infantry behind a wall that is lost blocking, it is lost blocking. We just ruled for this game because those barricades look like it should be like that vehicles see through them, but infantry doesn't, and you don't see infantry behind them.
Well, since you're out there, why would I not?
That's a good idea.
I mean, it's always a good idea.
You did all the effort to drive around the block.
Yeah,
so.
It's always a good idea to attack.
So the distance is higher than the 3DU that the weapon says, but it's shorter than twice that much.
Okay.
So you can shoot with a range increment, so-called. It's only one. Like you shoot in long range, basically, with a +1 to the enemy defense.
Okay.
Another thing is that there are some covers in between, so that's another +1. So instead of hitting the Socrates at a 4+, you're going to hit the Socrates at 6+.
Okay. But I am rolling D8 for
so
my cannon.
You have fairly chances of doing something.
Yeah.
Yes, that's correct.
It's not beyond the realms of possibility I might be able to do something. It is
beautiful, beautiful. Yes, even without cover, even in short range, it would have been like a
fly over the head of the
It went
Socrates.
elsewhere.
It's just a warning shot.
Oh, okay, yeah, well.
Just to let you know we're here and so you can back away for you.
Yes.
Makes sense.
See how generous I am.
So, yeah, probably I will just turn away and go.
Yeah.
The game is over. Very nice. Bye.
Okay.
Good times had by all.
Now you can choose whether to activate the tank, the energy tank, or the transport.
I think I'm going to activate the transport.
Sure.
And the transport and the energy tank, do they both get to? Yes,
they both are commanded. They both are vehicles, so both of them get an extra free move at the beginning.
I will go with the trip carrier that has a 3DU move as well.
Yes.
And it will go 1, and then turn, and then go 1, turn, and head towards that objective.
Oh, yeah.
Over there.
One option you have now is just to deploy the troops and start menacing the objective, basically.
Yes.
But you still have 2 actions, so you could even move more and then drop the troops. That would give you the advantage of sacrifice your transport just to protect the troops in front of it while the troops control the objective. It's kind of tricky, like he has a lot of stuff on that area, but still it is a possibility.
2 menacing droids.
Yes.
Well,
that's like 2/3 of his force is just there.
Yeah. Because I've not set the troop carrier up to actually be able to use its guns this turn.
Correct. You didn't.
I won't be screaming forward and shooting, which is a terrible shame, but I will go ahead and deploy my infantry.
Okay.
And when they deploy from a transport?
They deploy in contact with the transport. As we said, they don't require an AD to be activated. They are already being activated, but they only do 1 action. The way infantry controls objective, the control of the objective is always done at the end of the round, but the infantry doesn't need any action to control the objective. As long as it's in contact with it, it controls it. As long as a unit is within 1 DU of the objective, it contests it from the opponent, and the infantry contests it for free. If you leave it like that without moving it, you're contesting but not controlling.
Okay. And I also wouldn't be in cover in that instance either.
Oh, you're totally in cover. Yeah, you're in cover.
Okay.
You're touching the building, you're doing stuff,
Yeah. As much as I would love to...
You totally can.
I think I will.
And you can even move some, like...
If I am on that side, touching, I could control...
You can totally control it.
Do I count as cover?
You don't get the cover of the wall behind, but if you rotate it like this, you get in touch and you get to touch the building. And the idea is like you're controlling the thing, you're in contact with the building, you put another like here, and at the end of the day, you're going to be in control and in cover.
Okay.
Still, kind of exposed because you're very close to the enemies, and cover is ignored if the enemy is closer than 1 DU. Close combat ignores the cover, gives you a bit of armor piercing. It gets a bit more bloody.
Okay, so
definitely worth trying.
Infantrymen deployed for free.
the infantryman was deployed, we can like detach these two because at this point they're different entities. Note that this one was left on. You didn't use it. That's perfectly fine. At the end of the round, this is left here. As long as you have another 8 dice, you're good. And if you don't, you're just gonna roll fewer dice.
Okay.
But the total number of dice is 10, and of the activation dice, and that's what you're playing with.
Yeah. And I can always end up using that as a reaction
The next round.
To something terrible that Theo is going to do to me.
But the next round, as now they activated. But it's very convenient.
That's fine.
So, no, you still have the energy tank.
Still with the energy tank.
Yes, you do.
Yes.
A lot of units.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I may be blowing my load too soon.
You're giving away your strategy for sure,
Yes.
but it's not too bad.
I've been told that before, and it was a terrible lie. Energy tank's very good against infantry.
It's pretty good because it ignores covers and basically that.
Yeah,
So
it's a blob of energy against.
Yes, it's more convenient against infantry because it doesn't have armor piercing. So if you're shooting at big stuff, you probably won't do much.
Okay. I think I may just come to support this side of the board a bit.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And I think I can just go sneaky right through there.
So first movement.
So first move will get me to there. Oh, he said. Second, I'll just take straight lines through there.
Until number 3.
Yep.
Yeah, you can go.
Oh, you can just go straighter. Come on, like
Well, okay.
you don't have to be that strict on the thing. Like,
That's very decent of you.
and then you have 2 more actions because this was the free movement, so you can still move. Each movement is going to be 2 DUs only from now on, of course. But since you have no targets, you can still move another 4 DU if you want to.
Or
2 plus 2.
I could use one move and then
Try to
and
shoot.
then try to shoot
If you have targets.
possibly these little gentlemen here.
I think that the way we ruled it now is that that barricade blocks the lines of sight. So you would have
So
to
I'd have
move.
to come right over to here. So and then even then.
I think that you need to do like a 45 degrees. You would need to be outside of the table. So you can just move more.
In that case, what about contesting and controlling objectives with vehicles?
Ooh, okay. So if you want to control the objective, you actually can. The only problem is you're going to need to spend 1 action with that. So right now, if within 2 DUs you get to the target, which is that one, you'll be able to spend the 3rd action controlling it, which is pretty good.
It's great. Unfortunately,
you can, exactly. And besides, the infantry is really good at contesting the objectives, so you would be contested anyways, and you would end up with a tank in the middle of infantry, which is known not to be the best of situations for a tank.
I'm going to go to there.
Yes. You still have an action if you want, or you can just forfeit.
No, I'm just going to leave it at that. I'm not going any further forward. If you want to come and dig me out from behind my gas station, where we're desperately trying to refuel.
Oh yeah, that would be very mean.
Yeah. Unfortunately, somebody's tipped the...
Shooting something beneath a gas station is...
Oh, don't do that.
That's
if you're not allowed to use mobile phones, you're definitely not allowed to shoot around gas stations.
Since Zoolander, we know that's not a good thing to do.
But I will probably not do that. So it's my turn.
Yeah.
And I will start with using... Yeah, I will start in this area because it's way more juicy.
Also, this one has been activated, so...
I will activate my Socrates with putting some 1 and 2 on the rocket pods. 1 normal dice to activate it, and given that he has command free, he can activate those 2 units as well. We are going fast this game.
Yes, we are.
But I think it's a good thing, so I can put those as well. And just to these battle droids are those, and these are those.
Okay.
B. And so this one can just they will just rifle. Okay, so I put my dice. I activate the Socrates that give commands so to those other 2 as well. And as first action, it doesn't even need to move. It just unload 2 a pair of rocket pods on this poor unfortunate infantry.
Both of them.
Both of them on the infantry.
You're very mean to me.
Yes.
Yeah.
I didn't even shoot at you with my infantry.
The
We just
rocket
came around there to say hello.
Well, I just fly the rocket pod in the air, then it's the infantry that is unfortunately just in the place where the rocket pod fall down.
The rocket pods in particular have a ×2 marker on the name, which means that you get to do it twice, but you have to declare both targets to begin
Same
with.
time. Okay.
And that's what's happening now.
Both are those. So first target on this infantry is 2d8.
That's a 2 and a 1. Beautiful.
And they just are fireworks in the sky for now. Other two.
A 1 and a 7.
A 1 and a 7.
The 7 was actually a hit.
And given that the infantry
rolls a 6 on save, so you hit directly. So
Yeah.
far we haven't seen the proper dynamics of combat yet, but infantry is just weak. So it saves on 6. If you do a 7, it's gone.
Yeah, well,
What happens
it
is-
can try to roll a 7 with a d6, but
Are you that good?
I'm that cheaty.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
so
So you just remove one base, the one in front.
Yeah, the
because,
one in the front
It
makes
makes sense.
sense.
It's the one targeted.
and most
and-
importantly,
We're starting to use the only kind of tokens that we're using in this game,
Okay.
except the one on the table, but those are, let's forget about those, which is a cube, like a wooden cube. We use it to mark when something is pinned. We use to mark damages, which are outside of the table, so there is no confusion, and that's it. No markers on the game is something I'm happy of.
Yeah.
so yeah, this infantry is just
Pinned.
pinned.
Being pinned cannot control the objective, cannot contest the objective,
And
and that's it.
even if this, he's have another action, the Socrates,
Yes, it does.
that it will be better. Oh, I can shoot back to that tank.
No,
Sounds
I
just
wouldn't.
fair.
I mean, compared to using a light cannon against infantry, the light cannon is done for going against armor. So yeah, it will be hard because it's more than 3du distance we saw before. But so it's +1. It counts as cover because it's building inside. So is it at
You hit at 6.
or 6?
Just like it's very similar.
Yeah, but it's 2d8. So
Well, why not? These are
why not?
constant.
Yeah, sorry. So other 2d8s against the tank at we said 6. And
You
a 7
hit with a 7.
with the same dice of before.
So
Harsh.
this cannon is it's basically the same cannon of the tank. They both have a very similar weaponry. It has an armor piercing of 2, which means that when you have a defense, like in the case of the tank, you would roll 3d10
10, yeah.
and then choose the highest value between the 3. However, since there is an armor piercing of 2, you just roll 1d10 and you have to do 7 or more.
Okay. I can probably manage that.
It didn't happen. How surprising.
Yeah. Not surprising at
But
all. Anybody who's
it was
watched me
just
before.
so that way we can see how damage works.
Yeah, that was all intentional and we appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your sacrifice. So what happens now is that we roll a d6 and we track what happens on the damage chart. Each vehicle, each mech has a damage profile, and depending on where you land, you get a different kind of damage. If you land twice with a second, like a subsequent damage on the same area, it counts as dead. So the more damage you get, the more chances you have to die the next round, the next time you get hit.
Don't worry, you can die on the first round as well if you roll 1.
If you roll 1,
I
that
will.
thing is like smoked. Yes, it happens.
Our survey says
It didn't happen.
no, 5.
But you lost your cannon, so your tank is not a proper tank anymore in a way. But again,
still
single token. This one is pinned, which means that when it activates next time, the first thing it has to do is unpin,
Okay.
cannot react because it's pinned, and the cannon is gone. That's it.
All right.
And then I have the other mech
The tiny one.
with
Mech.
the tiny mech that, well, it doesn't need to use the pilot. It can do an extra action. So first action, it will do my favorite thing about the tech mechs, that is jump, because it will literally jump on the back of this transport.
The jump itself does trigger at the end of the jump potential reactions, but you have nothing that can move within range. So reaction itself is not something that could happen now.
Yeah. And the one group who could have potentially reacted, my infantrymen, are pinned, so they can't.
And they also activated already, so both good reason. Even the vehicle could react if it was not activated, could have reacted, but it didn't.
And
They couldn't.
you jump back behind your vehicle, and then does a power fist. That is a very strong thing against armor, because it's 2d10.
Yeah.
in contact with armor piercing value of 2. So
Again, you basically are rolling just one die, also because the transport only has the defense of like.
but no, because I roll
Beautiful.
a couple of 2, so
That's
nothing
good.
happens.
That's
I managed to land behind it, charge the punch, and miss it
it
from.
was just a pat.
Yeah, it's also I saw.
It's difficult hitting things when you've just landed in a superhero pose.
Yeah,
Oh, that's true.
yeah, that's probably the reason.
If you hadn't been going for style points, I'd have a dead transport in my hands.
Yes, maybe just tripped on that thing.
Oh yeah, it actually managed to land, but
That building was fine
Barely.
before. Now it's.
oh yeah, this all was just made. Right. Okay, so it's your turn again
Yes.
because I.
Okay. I've got 3 dice left to play with.
And you have armored infantry that is
Armored
still
infantry.
to be moved.
Yep.
Spotter drones are single use, so you can want to use it. You might want to use it. I don't see why now, but in general, it's a single use during the game. And then you have the guided missile that cannot be used now because you don't have the scouts in game.
Yeah.
You can drop the scouts, or you can move those things. Either ways. Another option, of course, for you is to pass. You can decide to pass. He can pass as well. If both of you pass, that's the end of the round. But I don't see him passing right now. So
Yeah.
if you want just to see what he does, you can decide to
Yeah.
pass right now.
Oh, well, that sounds delightful. I will indeed pass.
You will pass.
Yeah.
Well,
No chances to roll bad dice.
Yeah.
no reason to pass me for me as well because I'm not like controlling any objectives. So I will start using the infantry. Oh well, I should have used this one with the command, but I have more possibility now because well, let's start with the heavies that don't need because they have the sentient AI. They don't need an activation dice to move. And so they will have their move that will be to go through the building.
Going through the building, since the building is passable, it costs 1 DU of movement.
Okay.
But you can only go through maximum 1 DU of building. So those buildings are conveniently slightly less than a DU, so that's good. But you cannot go the other way, like across the building. You
And
can
of
go
course,
only-
just the infantry can do that.
and just infantry, yes.
Running through corridors.
Yeah.
Leaping through windows.
Yes.
Exactly.
Robotic robots, yeah, sure.
And
Definitely
the second
something they do.
action, given that coming out of this building, they are conveniently close to this objective.
Also, you have still 1 DU of movement in this movement.
Yeah, but
because-
they are already close to the objective,
Perfect.
so there is no reason. We could say that they are doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they can
that's
compare with that. And
Second action is
second action is to. Oh no, yeah, because I don't need to contest that one. I have to defend that one,
Yes.
and you're not contesting. So yeah, maybe I will use the second movement from before to go through this little wall and this little tree. And from here,
since you're in contact with the wood and you're in contact with the petrol station, whatever, you are in cover.
I am in cover, and I should be in sight, even if covered by this heavy tank here.
Don't worry about my heavy tank.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's mostly just to do something. They have a shooting around for free.
Yes.
They're just shooting rifle against a tank, so it's not very. It's
If you planned it before, you could have added 1 dice to shoot the railgun.
the
but you
railgun,
didn't,
but
and
now
it
I want
was
to use those for the other
happens.
guys. So I will just
limited
1D
resources.
Yeah, 1d8 to the. I am in range. No, I have to. I'm slightly out of the normal range, so +1 and +1 because there are the trees.
So you hit at 6+ because there
At
is
6,
long range and cover.
but I mean, it's free.
Yeah, why not?
Shooting with a rifle is free. So, and of course,
Of course.
I add some holes to these buildings,
God bless.
and
One rolling one.
so those one
Yes.
are already done.
Other people are, definitely.
I need that one. Okay.
All right. So back to me, and I can't pass again.
You can if you want.
Can't.
but-
No, I'm not going to. Why would I do that?
Eh,
I think my armored infantry
Yeah.
may come to support this flank somewhat.
that would make sense. So you don't have enough dice anyways to run the guided missile, or do you? You probably do.
I have enough if I don't want to activate
That's
my armored infantry.
So
So
ideally,
it's either the scouts and the guided missile or the armored infantry
and the scouts without the guided
without
missile.
the guided missile. Yeah.
Which makes sense. Both of
So-
them are reasonable choices.
So the interesting thing for me will be where to put the scouts if I bring the scouts in.
So the scouts can be deployed anywhere as long as they are further than 2 DU from enemies. So, and at the same time, they can be targeted only if the enemy is within 2 DU. So you don't want to be too close to enemies. I think there is an option here. You could drop them somewhere here.
I have units
no.
here.
Oh, you do?
Units there.
Damn it.
It's such a small, compact board.
Yes, and I'm just on one side of it.
Yeah.
I'm not allowed to move around, and so that's a problem. But you can drop anywhere on top of this building,
Okay.
whatever that means. It's
Or
fine.
in the middle here.
Or
Or in the
middle.
middle. Yeah.
Close to the objective.
Yes, absolutely.
Right on top of the
You can
objective.
drop it on the objective, of course. And he moved everyone already almost.
Well,
Well,
that's
I
2
still have-
DU, so it would have to be
On the other side,
it would have
yes.
to be on the other side.
So he would try to shoot at you, but
When you drop, or when you infiltrate rather, and you deploy,
yes.
do you still get a movement, or is that their movement for the turn?
Yeah, the deploying itself is one action, but then you get the infiltration ability. That's one action too, so you're down for the round.
Okay.
Unfortunately, that's the
Yeah,
limit here.
you know, you say unfortunate. I don't know if it is. I think the armored infantry are going to come to play
Yeah,
first.
that's a good idea.
And I will spend 1 for the armored infantry. And
Things are hidden from me.
I know.
Yeah.
You can walk around if you want. You just have to come back to here.
I know
Okay.
that you are helping him, so I try to play against you as well.
I'm going
Damn
to.
it.
I'm going to drop die on my heavy MG.
These are the dead.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
that makes sense.
And then
So you're just keeping 1 die
Just
for
keeping
the
1.
scouts to exist, which
Yeah.
is a very good idea.
so
1 action, like one DU of the movement.
take them through the building.
Mhm.
And then second DU. Bring them. Can I get within? Are you within 3? You are within 3. So if I get 1 DU forward, I'll contest.
To contest it,
Or is it you have to be within 1 DU?
so
contest
there is no need to contest it because that objective is something you have to control. He does
Oh, okay.
just defend it.
But I am contesting it because
You're
I'm
contesting
not
it,
pinned.
exactly. In case you magically would teleport there, you would not control it unless you pin the
Okay.
heavy droids.
I would love to pin the heavy droids. I would love to do something to the heavy droids.
But the problem is
problem
there
is
is
that
just
there's a
a gas
massive gas
station.
station
Yes,
on the way.
there's a
Yeah.
small.
So
But
problem
I
there.
like the battle of the battle of the gas station
Yes.
around there.
that was my first. My second activation could be to move again.
You can move it again, but only by 1.
And if I moved,
To move through a building, you have to be in contact with it
okay,
to
so
be
I'd come
good
up
with.
to this turn.
You can get in contact with it right now, and in the next round, you can do magic stuff with it.
Well, I will do that rather than be so far away.
Absolutely, and it makes sense for the first round to save some dice for the next one.
Yeah.
It gives a lot of margin, which is pretty good. Okay,
Oh, there's the battle
that's
of the
very
gas
pretty.
station.
Yeah,
Go team, go!
go team, go.
Okay, so
Fail's
it's my turn again.
Mhm.
I still have the 2 team of battle droids, and at this point you use the older your unit, right?
No, there's
No.
still a
No,
scout.
it's
Still
not
the
the
scouts.
scouts.
Still the scouts.
But yeah, other
So
than
what
that,
I will do is to use 1 dice to activate these ones.
Mhm.
These little guys that will use 1 movement to go through the building.
still
and-
have 1 movement after
Yeah.
that.
This one should arrive
Yeah,
here.
it's fine.
And the other movement to
All 3 of them are in contact with the building right
Yeah, yeah, exactly. All 3 of them are in contact with the buildings, and so all 3 of them will go basically to hug this objective,
now. Ouchie.
the crashed gunship of the conglomerate.
That was a good move.
So they are in cover around the trees
Yeah.
and in contact with the objective. And given that I use this one, they can shoot just for fun for free because they have it.
Yes.
Oh, it's this one, not this one. And yeah, there is just this damage tank that they can see.
Mhm.
So just for fun, 1d6 per base, so 3 of them, against the tank that is just within the 2du. But
Nothing
they
happens.
definitely
I mean,
miss. It was a nightmare.
even if it was a hit, you would have countered every single number with 3d10, choosing the higher one,
Okay.
Yeah,
highest one. So
that was just because they were there.
why not? Exactly, it's free.
They're not paying for the munition, so
It's like Everest. Why'd you climb it? Because it's there.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Why you shoot at the
Okay.
tank?
Well, I've got a whole action die left.
Yes.
And it is my scouts. Now, where can I land? So, currently, away from it,
And
Yes.
most importantly, now you cannot land here
Yeah,
because
correct.
my
away from them.
That was the downside of passing, because
Yeah.
on the other hand,
you
he
can
would,
land
I
behind
could
me.
land behind you.
yeah, which is actually not bad, because there are going to be reinforcement at the third round of this game, but it's not a lot of them, and they cannot be within 3du of where your unit is.
So
Or is it
if
2du?
you are-
I don't remember.
Should you?
2du.
If you are here, basically
Oh,
I cannot
I'll be
spawn
right.
my reinforcement in this area.
Yes.
That it's
It's
quite
pretty nasty.
limiting.
Especially because since they cannot spawn within 2du from you, they cannot target you. So the scout there is just nasty.
Okay.
Yeah, but just remember that they still have those to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Activate. So I will go with my scouts.
Maybe deploy in cover a bit
Yeah.
more than 2du from them. Actually, more than 3du from them, so they cannot shoot at you in close combat.
So I'm going to tuck myself in behind this
Exactly.
building here.
So at this point, you are away from the close combat after one movement. They could do 2 movements to get to you, but I don't know why.
Put myself behind this. And just make sure I'm over 2 away from you there.
Yeah.
There we go.
So it should be my last turn, and they cannot shoot to you. It doesn't make sense for them to shoot there. Those are pinned. I think I will just put this dice on. I will just pass. So I will pass, and you will have to pass as well because
Yes,
you
I have
finish
nothing
your
left to-
die.
If you want, you can even activate them for free, because
Yeah.
they have the ability, and you can move them just
Yeah,
once.
but it's
you
I
keep
like
them there.
I like them in as a reserve.
That's really good.
So all the cards will be
Yeah, this is the end of the round.
Yes.
So the last steps of the round is that any available die can be left on a card.
Okay.
The cards are unrotated slightly.
Yes.
And any die that is left can be left there. You can decide to also remove it. It's up to you.
Okay.
But it makes sense to... I mean, at this point, you only have 7 dice to roll. So if you
Yes.
know you want this, that's really good. But you can decide to remove one if you think that maybe this grenade is not going to be useful or something like that. You can still remove it and re-roll it if you want.
Yeah.
while me on the other side, knowing that probably I will try to punch you again with this. I already put the 6 here because
Especially if you're going to shoot point blank, it makes sense that at the same time as a reaction, you just punch back.
exactly, and I still have more than I have 9, so I have the 8 dice to roll at the beginning of the second
Which makes
round.
a lot of sense.
Okay.
The other thing that happened right now is that he's controlling the central objective, and that makes him draw 1 card. Oh, that's
Well,
really good.
that's
really
powerful. Okay,
good. All of them are really good, actually.
so
Far too happy with themselves.
To be fair, if you get to grab that objective and bring it back, that alone is 2 cards.
Right. Well,
did we
will
explain
get
how the victory card works?
We didn't.
So-
The way they work, basically, is that each card contains a value between 2 and 5 victory points. It's usually 2 or 3. But since you don't know exactly how many victory points the opponent has, you're not going to do suicidal strategies. You're not going to do like deterministic strategies. Metagame is harder because you might be losing, but you're not sure you're losing. You're not going to do a very high-risk strategy if there is like a 20% chance to still win.
Theo could have 3 victory cards, but they could all be 1 VP each.
Exactly. And then maybe
And
you get one that is 5 and it's like, I might still be winning. So I'm not going to risk
Quite
it all.
rare situation, but could
Sure.
happen. But most importantly, every victory card has the possibility to being played during the game. At that point you show it, so it's up for everyone to know when how much points it value. It gives you an action, a bonus action that could
Which is
be
pretty cool.
from reroll dice to cancel an activation stuff. And of course, it will be worth less point than if you keep it as...
So more choices for everyone.
Yeah, you can strategize on the victory points.
Risk and reward. I love it. Right.
Perfect.
Anything else we need to do at the end of turn 1 then?
I would say it's good. And looky. You had a command 3, but now it's pinned. So suddenly your highest command is the armored infantry. So you have only command 2.
Okay.
Well,
His command is still 3.
So
now basically you have a disadvantage of 1 while rolling the initiative.
Yeah. So roll the initiative.
Just a d6.
So 2, that become 3.
6, which is still 6, so yay.
You still win the initiative.
Yes. Winning the initiative right now is quite important. I would say.
Yeah, now it's
So you get to roll only
important.
7 dice because the 8 is already there, but it's a really good dice or whatever.
And I will roll all 8 of my dice.
Except for your 1 is
Yeah.
red. There.
And what I want.
Right.
That's a lot of 1s.
That's more like me, to be
I
fair.
mean, it's really good to have 1s, but maybe a bit too many.
You see why I left the 5s and 6s on now?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I'm not going to risk it again.
Yeah.
So keep in mind that you cannot command because it's pinned.
Yes.
So the tank commander ability, you're not going to need it, and you don't need to scout. So the only one for this list, the only one that you really need
Guided missile.
is a guided missile. Everything else is useless. And you need a lot of 5 and 6s. So you might want to reroll maybe even all of them. Like the chances of not rolling a 1 to 3 is...
That's what they want me to do. So
Okay.
I'm going to keep one of those.
Keep a 1. Keep a 1.
Definitely
Everything
keep one
else,
of those.
everything else, even the 4 if you want. I'm not seeing it. It's okay.
The rest can go, and we'll see.
Well, yeah, there are a few good numbers now.
I will
slightly
reroll
better.
those 2, 3, and it's
That's not
one
too
is
bad,
still
that's
3,
not too
but
bad,
I
yeah.
have a 6.
And at the end of the day, the rubbish dice, you're
Become
going to use it
activations.
to activation.
And
anyways.
most important, now I have to strategize where to put the EI
Yes.
of the text because
Yeah, that should have been done probably before rolling the dice, but it really
well,
doesn't matter much.
I didn't
Whatever,
decide where to
of
put the
course.
dice yet.
Just
More
saying it for
looking
the
at the map.
public.
Yeah, so because this one, the pilot can do 1 extra turn.
Activation.
Activation, so action per turn, sorry. And so
Socrates is still
probably the
healthy.
Socrates because he's healthy and is far away from the action for now. So maybe one more action could be useful. While the sentient AI means that I can
react in a better way.
react in a better
Sentient allows you
way.
to activate without paying ADs, but also to react with your whole range of actions.
Oh,
You don't just react with act 1, you react with 2.
And given
that's
that
pretty
now
good.
that
you
Zeno
can fire and then run away.
Yeah, exactly.
Or-
and given that now that Zeno is in a quite exposed position,
It's
I
actually
think
perfect there.
it will be
Absolutely.
his time to have the sentient AI. Okay, so
Before you start your first activation, you can
any
put reactions.
kind of other reactions. Well,
The Zeno is covered.
I'd
the
say that
Socrates is
the
fine.
infantry, especially the heavy ones,
Oh yeah, that one might need
they
some.
definitely need the railgun and probably the other infantry as well.
Well, you have dice, so why not?
Because they maybe need the railgun as
Started at the next round, you get those 2 as reserves, and Theo gets this as reserves.
maybe the railgun. Yeah, maybe the railgun as well because that way the tank is
Why
more
not?
covered. That
It
leaves
is
me with a
nasty.
couple of 6, 1, 2 that are useful in case of jumping, and this one just for activation.
In case of jumping.
Always need for jumping with the mechs.
You never know. You never know.
Okay,
That's great.
go Gerry.
All right, I will. I'm not sure where, but I will. So tell me about pinned infantry then. If I want to unpin, it's one of their actions.
Yeah.
And then can they still activate with their second action as normal? So either control, move or attack?
Absolutely. Infantry doesn't need to even spend actions to control. So the only problem is that if any unit is pinned, it will need to unpin as a first action. Or if it's moving and it gets the target of a reaction and gets pinned, at that point the second action should be unpin. So unpinning is also priority. In this case, this means that they cannot react, they cannot command, and they have to unpin. it usually makes sense to activate something nearby, like the transport. The transport could easily activate them as a command, and at least they get not to waste you one activation die to unpin. One thing that is also worth considering is that they're already pinned. You cannot pin something that is already pinned. So you can dip them for quite a bit until the end of the round and then pin them at the very last moment.
And hope that in the intervening time, nobody kills them up.
Of course, but even if they are unpinned, they will be killed. So at that point, it's like, yeah, let's soak some more damage.
To keep it down.
It's one of those things, do I unpin and turn around and throw grenades at that terrible thing?
Which is particularly good at reacting, though.
Yeah.
And this has already a power fist.
Loaded. It's like...
It's literally keeping the hand loaded.
Yes. So you might want to consider that too.
Am I worried though? Am I? I don't know.
Too many choices.
Too many choices. You know what I think I'm going to do? I think my armored infantry are going to play with these guys here.
Where's the scouts, by the way? Oh,
yeah,
Scouts are right at the back here. But I want to try and remove the
like cross the thing and shoot.
Yeah, across the forecourt of the garage. And
the only problem there is that you're probably gonna shot point blank.
Okay.
It's not too bad, but just saying.
And the heavy droid has some already charged.
Yeah, but it's just one die, so you can take your chances.
They can react with the heavy rifle for free.
Either one or the other.
Yeah.
If
it's infantry, I will probably use the rifle. If it's armor, I will probably use the railgun.
Yeah, but this is heavy infantry, so it's pretty much in between.
Yeah, well, choice.
It's good to have one.
I think so. With my armored infantry then?
Yeah.
Obviously, I've already got a heavy MG loaded up for them.
Yeah.
Which is a 4d6 shot.
Oh, that's a lot.
Grenade launcher, 1d8, but area 1, I'm assuming that is anything within a...
MG is better. MG is definitely better. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because, the area thing, you're going to roll basically 2d8s, one per unit, and you have to be in line of sight of them. So at the end of the day, in the other case, you re-roll 4d6s, it's probably going to be easier.
Okay.
Also consider, you can activate them or that one. Both of them will command the other, so it's just about the order. Do you want to move the tank and take the hit on the tank, or do you want to risk the hit on the tank, or do you want to move them and then move the tank? Both are good. Both are pretty valid.
I'm going to, I do not have to chain from biggest command down, in which case armored infantry is 2 and the MG tank is 1.
It is not like you can do that. Like the chain means that you could command this, that commands this, that commands something else.
Oh, okay.
That's not the case. So the idea of command is not that you have higher ranking officers. It's just about the general coordination skill.
Okay.
So you might have tanks that have one. The idea is that with one die you move 2.
Right.
That's it.
In that case, I'm going to hope. What's the armor piercing on a railgun?
2.
Very high.
2. Oh, I'm going to hope the energy tank gets missed whenever you fire at me. But I'm going to go with the energy tank first.
Very well.
Because he's got with the energy cannon, and he also has light machine guns for free.
Yeah.
So.
But if I react with one, I will not be able to use both.
The tricky thing is that in your case, you're not seeing them, so you have to move.
Yes.
And the machine gun is very effective as it's within 1DU because it gets armor piercing. The energy cannon is very effective further than 1DU because otherwise you cannot shoot at all. So you will probably gonna end up shooting with the light machine gun, which is a bit wasted. So it's up to you which one to use. It's another choice.
We'll go with the energy tank.
Very well.
In for penny, in for pound. So if I turn there, I've still got my 3DU movement.
Yeah.
And given that the turret turn, you can... Well, but it's better to show the facing.
Ideally you can turn a bit before so you never show the side, but it's fine.
Yeah.
So you end up facing them a bit more so they don't hit you on the side.
But I could move 2 to there, and then for my final, I could
use the last
turn and not move.
Yeah.
You can do that. Keep in mind that you cannot be within 1DU. There is a sort of area of control. So you will end up here.
Okay.
Which is perfectly fine. Turning there and then you shoot.
And
it's within 1DU.
The moment you came to my view.
you shoot.
I react.
Also, I said that you couldn't shoot with both. That's actually not true. You could shoot with the MG, kill the first one. The second one is further than 1DU.
Oh,
and
no.
then
shoot.
Oh, well,
Then I would have the
that's
opportunity.
cheesing the game.
that's cheesing the game. Also, you don't have the actions for that.
No.
But in another universe, you could actually do that.
That would have been nice.
Okay,
I
so
better spend my action dice for that first, before I forget. But
So
okay.
before you do the second action,
Yeah.
he's
I
gonna
will
shoot at
react.
you.
Yeah, I will react with the.
One die to react and one die for the shooting.
Yeah, of
It's very
course.
expensive,
Yeah, I know, but it's worth it.
definitely.
Yeah, because let me calculate the dice first, because I will have to do a lot of action with that one. You know what? No, well, I have to react for sure. So I have used these two, and I shoot with just 1d8, but
Sometimes that D8 did a lot of damage.
yeah, also because it's armor piercing 2, so
It's a 6.
It's a 6.
The 6 goes through. As we said before, the armor piercing 2 means you only roll 1d10. You have a
Instead of my
50-50.
three.
You have a
50.
50% chances of getting the damage.
As
So-
I keep telling people, it's always a 50-50. You either do
Yeah.
it or you don't.
And you do.
and you actually save it. So
Oh,
the
beautiful.
hit bounces back and you get to
Ricochet.
shoot.
And I wasted 2 dice.
Which one are you going to use?
So I will have to use the light MG because it's closest.
Yeah.
So light MG into them, which is
And
3d6.
That will
36
hurt.
it will be.
That will hurt a lot. Well,
hope
I'm
so.
in cover, but
You're not in cover anymore though, because
am.
it is in within 1DU. So
Oh, yeah.
cover is ignored and it's armor piercing at least 1.
Yeah,
It basically
yeah.
gets a minimum of AP 1.
Yeah.
Which makes it very effective because they have 2 dice of defense. And it's a 6 and a 4 to get in.
So,
As a general rule of thumb, you hit everything with a 4 plus here.
okay.
So-
To hit, it's usually 4 plus.
I have the 4.
You roll a d8, which is good.
I roll a yeah, because it's close. You're right.
Oh no, is it a d10?
Is it a 10?
I'm so sorry, you roll a
No,
d10.
but it's
Armor
not close
piercing.
combat?
No, it doesn't reduce that. It's
Okay.
Okay.
So D10. So I was right. So that
7.
was the 4 and the 6 now.
It's a 10. Okay.
Wow. Well,
So
Okay.
he saved everything, but infantry gets pinned as long as they get hit.
Oh,
Doesn't matter if they
they
save or
duck
not,
for cover.
which is really good because now they're pinned. For instance, you can decide with the other unit, rather than attack them, just, maybe you can do both, but I don't know, like just run to the objective.
Okay.
You can just get the objective at the other end of the
Yeah,
round.
you basically did suppression fire with the tank and
Yeah.
let the infantry run to the objective.
And the whole thing of you cannot move next to opponents, it works only if they're not pinned. So
Okay.
you can do
so,
whatever.
As far as I'm concerned, currently, these guys no longer
Control
control that area
or contest, yes.
or contest
yeah.
it. However, what my armored troops could do is now move through the garage and take a shot at these guys.
Oh yeah, that's also a good one.
You can do that, yes.
Because I can always come up from behind with my scouts.
And that one is a one-off objective, so you can keep it for later. Yeah, if you control the area, that makes a lot of
While
sense.
every turn I control this one is 1 victory card for me.
So I will do that. Spend my action dice.
Yes.
And then my...
So you're in contact with the
so in
objective, so
contact,
basically you
so
appear
I
on the other
flip
side
over.
of it, and that's 1 DU of movement. And you have a second DU of movement, which is enough to get in close combat with them.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
So boom. And then all the way through to there.
You're not controlling the objective, but you're both contesting it and shooty. Which means... which one is it? Oh yeah, you have the heavy MG.
I have the heavy MG, yes.
Unless you want to...
Those one also can react, but at this point, do I have enough dice for what I want to do?
I hope not.
Do I... Well, even if I don't have, I cannot risk the... I cannot risk the... That would be cool.
Can you though?
Yeah, I will. I have to, because otherwise they're just there to getting killed.
Yeah.
And
strategy is good, but victory points is better.
yeah, basically that's a good way to put it. So
while you charge, they're gonna shoot at you.
Yeah, I will use this 6
I find
and
that acceptable.
and at this point, how much armor they have? The armored infantry. 2d6. So probably the rifles are better because
Yes.
it's 3 rifles.
And it's in
free
close
shot,
combat, so
close
it's
combat. So yeah.
1d6 only.
So yeah. So I will not use this railgun, but I will try to pin you and block you before you can go and do harm to me.
So
And
2-4 go in.
yeah, because you're just running to me, so you're not in cover or nothing.
And
so
each of them you have to counter with just one
Single
d6
die.
because you're in close combat. Like they can shoot at you whenever they want, so they shoot at the best moment.
Okay.
so go for the first.
So
You can roll them together
4,
if you
well,
want.
yeah, because they're both 4s anyway.
Yeah.
So I just need 2 4-ups,
That's perfect.
which I do,
Yeah.
But you're still pinned because you got hit. You
unfortunately.
didn't lose anything. That's amazing, but you're still pinned.
And you cannot shoot to me, so
Yes.
I can still control the objective, and you cannot contest it because it's pinned.
Correct.
So the defense worked. That D6 was well spent.
You can try to do something
Well,
with the MG of the
yes,
tank,
other
but,
unit, of course, but
but still, you are in a...
but now it's my turn.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
Well, and why the Battle of the Gas Station developed? I probably focus on this side, and especially with the Xeno, that doesn't need a dice, an activation dice, because he has the Sentient AI, and he will just... he will start with this fist that is loaded from before. He finally can hit on the back of the troop carrier.
Yes.
Your troop carrier doesn't have dice, so you cannot react. In this case, it could have been almost convenient because it's like, yeah, probably gonna die, but I shoot back.
Yeah.
And hit is from the back,
Yes. So instead of D10, it's gonna be D8.
while I throw D10. So,
Yes. And
Maybe.
instead of being 2D10 or 2D8,
Yeah,
it's gonna be 1 because it's armor
but
piercing.
if I do like 9 or 10,
Oh yeah, that's nice.
it's not even need to throw
Wishful
the dice.
thinking.
Well, I did a 9.
There's a 9. So one hit is
for
in.
sure.
And again, like with a tank, you roll a die, except in this case, 1, 2, 3 is going to be dead. 4, 5 is going to be a damage to the movement. 6 is going to be armor. 6 armor.
Wow.
That's actually really nice. It was not pinned, now it's pinned, whatever. But all things considered, that's pretty nice.
And
However,
for my second action,
yes, you still have 2 actions.
I still have 2 actions, right?
Oh yes, that's not the pin on the thing. It's on the other thing.
As much as I would love it to be.
Yes.
Well, one will be shooting with the light minigun. 2 action, right? Yeah. One will be the shooting with the minigun back on the
Yeah, that's a way to score the
Or
point.
wait. No.
Yeah, I saw that. I was like,
Yeah, of
sure,
course.
you can shoot
of
with the
course.
minigun if you
No,
want.
my action is to move here,
that's first action.
and the second action is to grab the shiny thingy.
Which, so you're going to control it.
Yeah, now I'm controlling. I just put it on the base because it's cool.
Which one are you going to do? Are you going to read it and get 1 victory card at the end of the round?
I grabbed it. I moved on my base. That means that
So you're going to
I
grab it.
hold it. And
If you only could like fly
or if I can just jump back to my
with a
zone.
single action, you can literally get in your zone. So
No,
yes,
well,
that's
maybe-
pretty good. Yeah.
Oh yeah, because it's 2DU. So I will probably jump back to. But if I survive,
If you
there
survive,
is still
that's-
time
sure,
for that.
of
But yeah, so he went there. He got the shiny data log,
Yeah.
whatever is in the story, and
That's the holiday pictures.
holiday picture. He put the USB in it, downloaded all the files, and now he's holding the
Yes, he has the
USB
big
pen
hand. He
with
cannot
his
punch anymore now.
Yeah.
Very well.
Okay, and that was my action because he has command 1, and that was okay. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
So on your side, you still have the scouts to activate,
Scouts,
the tank,
and my tank.
and the poor people there.
Well,
Yes.
I still have this one and this one.
The
Well,
hidden ones,
I
yes.
could use that card at some point, but
At this point, I just remembered they exist.
Right. I mean, I think my tank commander would love to go and shoot you with my massive cannon, but you killed it.
Yes.
So the fact that he's got 1 activation and no main battle cannon any longer means he's not the worst. He's just not the best anymore.
Another thing to consider is that the next round, you're going to have 2 more units coming. So
especially the heavy battle tank.
at the 4th round, there is going to be only 1 round in which those units are going to be on the table and potentially commanded. Having that tank still alive at that point and not pinned means that you get to get one extra movement with them, which is not too bad. I don't know if you want to focus on that, but that's a possibility.
Well, at the moment, I'm focusing on reversing.
Yeah.
I think so. It's I would love to activate.
Yes.
And then just suppress them.
Yeah.
But I'll just leave myself open to another shot, and I don't think I'm going to survive a second one of those. I just have a horrible feeling about you.
Possible. It was a bit of a lucky shot, but not that lucky. Not that lucky.
Well,
not lucky enough.
Centered on the cannon.
So
Yeah, it was
I will. Yes. I'll spend that to activate my main battle tank. I'll lose my pin.
And that's the first action.
And then for my second action, I will. You can't reverse. You have to.
Reverse is just a normal movement. Like you can rotate in any direction and move. So like.
But because I would turn 180, move, and then
Yeah,
turn
we'll
180
have
again for my second DU to put my front armor towards the opponent.
Exactly.
That's correct.
I'm just worried about something coming at me and shooting me to death. Not that you would do that.
Yeah,
I feel.
it's something that can happen during battles usually.
Like you have that Xeno, which is kind of scary, but it's also carrying powerful stuff. So
He's carrying powerful stuff, and he's also activated this turn completely, hasn't he? So
it's not scary.
I'm less worried about him.
So this is the first movement.
So that's my first. Then
You potentially have another 2.
my second will go to there. And
You still have
I've
one.
got one left. I don't know if I need to use another one. When my reinforcements come in,
It's going to be
Next
at the
round.
beginning of the next round.
beginning of the next round, but they come from my
They come from your side,
Side.
plus you cannot command them because they're deploying.
because they're only just coming
So
in. Okay.
it's going to be the next round. So,
so
but maybe if you put it a bit closer to that, the moment he activates to run away, you shoot.
Mm-hmm.
At least with the MG, it's nice. A bit like it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've got something, which
It's
is
something.
nice. Yeah.
It's better than nothing.
Bit of wishful thinking, but not too bad.
Okay, so that's my turn again.
Yes.
So the tank
Are you panicked yet?
activated.
I
You right?
am-
Do you want to surrender for you?
Oh, no, but I can do...
I mean, on that side, you were in clear advantage. The problem is that, like, you still are actually.
Yeah.
But he got a bit of a blitz
There.
spirit on the other side.
They can be...
Also, something weird happened with those barricades.
Yeah, well,
It's really not important, but it's like, yeah, sometimes that's a problem with small scale.
because now I have
A sneeze is like a hurricane.
2 and 6. I can use this in case.
If you want, we can remove the head of it because it's broken.
Oh, it's a
It's all
Russian tank.
magnetized.
It's a Russian tank.
It's a Russian
It
tank
has
now,
to
yes.
fly in the sky. Yeah, I will probably do interesting stuff. So I will use the software upgrade. That means that I can take this sentient II and give it to those droids, even if it's not the beginning of the round. And this one is discard afterward, so it's gone forever.
Single use. You can just flip it downstairs, like down.
Yeah, it was dramatic
Face
to put it out of
That's
camera.
true. Like throw it.
So that means that those will activate without the need for dice that they could have probably done anyway with the command, but this way I can have a little
React
bit
in
more.
a smarter way.
Yeah, exactly. So that means that I can use all my dice on him. 1 to activate,
Hungry.
1 to jump, and 1 and 2 to shoot the rocket pods.
But you did that now, but using the software upgrade, that's your activation.
Yeah, but it doesn't have any more activation if I'm right now.
No, he has the scouts.
Oh yeah,
guided
it's the
missile.
scout. You're right. So okay.
The troop carrier, everything actually.
Yeah, you're right. So
All
I
the dice come back off.
just switch
When
the.
you finish the dice.
I just switched the activation. So
Oh,
yeah, I forgot about the scouts,
Kidogi. So,
and he has to unpin those as well. Yeah. So yeah, I just switched the eye.
right. Interesting, Mr. Bond.
Yep.
the range for the guided missile is 8 DU, which
You just need
in the
line of
purposes
sight.
of this is
It's pretty much a
pretty
lot.
much everything.
But you need to, it doesn't double, so it's just 8, but you need line of sight. That's the wrong problem.
Depends what I'm dropping it on. Some things out there are very big.
And yellow.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everything is yellow, but yes.
But something is bigger than the other.
And yellower.
Yeah.
Some of them are very big and yellow.
If you see it directly, that's why.
Yeah,
why not?
you can.
Definitely good.
Why
not?
Well, the reason
shouldn't
I might not, and I'll tell you this for why, because my other alternative is they've reacted. They've gone.
They've done this.
So I could through the building and possibly sink them,
Yeah, or
through the building
or just even here, so
and
you
get
are
the
afar.
Oh, you can do
objective.
that. You can do that.
So-
That's, you can actually can do both things.
because I can
Because
I control for free because I'm infantry.
And also because the missile is not them shooting.
it's a different thing.
It's from the outside that just use them to track the
So
position.
the question is, do you want to shoot the missile and then move them to do the cool thing, or do you want to do the cool thing and then move and then shoot the missile to something that you might see then?
The guided missile 2D8 AP2. I think I'd really want to try and drop it on that battle rig
Sounds really good.
before it does anything to me.
Yes.
Makes sense.
So that
It
will
got
cost
lucky
me
once, but only
that, and
once.
that
Yes. And goes directly.
for my.
Oh yeah, you
guided
can
missile.
put that
Bump,
there.
bump,
Yeah.
bump.
It depends if you want to put other stuff, but otherwise you're good.
So
That's 2d8, simple,
That's them.
very clean.
On my head,
And it's armor piercing 2, so
just 1d10.
it's a 3 and a 2. If you combine them together, it's a hit, but it doesn't work like that.
So it arrived from the sky and hit somewhere
Yeah, there's a
around
hole there.
this
That's
area
why. Yep.
while my back door.
again,
Well,
warning shots.
warning shot again.
worried.
Yeah, I'm very worried now.
Should be.
You warned.
I've been warned, and
You should move.
now I
You should
do.
retreat.
Now I do what
Before
I
I
wanted
hit
to
you
do
with the next
before. That means that I will do jump and pods.
Now all the die come back in.
And now the idea is, I don't know, I want to finish those
Do you though?
before they can act, but they are already pinned, so they will already have half their actions.
Yeah, but they can unpin and control. If there is
They
no one,
can, but there is the infantry here, yeah. Still.
you cannot get there in
I
time, I guess.
Can
You cannot cross the barricade,
cross the barricade, then move.
but you cannot cross that barricade because it's a linear obstacle.
that's a big one,
It's
yeah.
not a passable
Yeah,
one.
yeah, you're right.
So
I
you
have
would
to
have
go
to do, like,
around.
1, 2. Well, you can contest it.
I
for
can
sure.
contest it,
Yeah, you can do that.
or I can shoot them and pin again if they unpin.
If they move after you, maybe yes.
Well, yeah. Or
Tricky.
I can go and hit the scout before they go to the other objectives. So one of
sounds
the
like-
objectives, given that here I already have that mech and this infantry, and that I have this infantry that is sort of not in good shape, I will probably, I will activate, jump, 3DU, so I will arrive close enough to see them, confirm, and then unload not 1 but 2 rocket pods on the scouts.
That's terrible.
You do like overkills, sure.
I'm used to rolling bad dice.
That's also
so
true. That's
better
also true.
safe, better safe than sorry.
I feel your pain.
Yeah. So those can
Let's
go.
beat statistics with more statistics.
Beating statistics through superior firepower. So yeah. Well,
There's an 8.
that is a lot of damage, a lot of hits.
I mean, you hit only at 6 plus.
Oh, do you?
6
Because
yeah,
those
because
are in cover, no?
They are in
Are they?
they are in cover, yeah,
Yeah,
and they are not close enough.
So
So
you-
yeah, well,
That's enough.
that's why
That's
I
definitely
throw a
enough.
couple of them.
So the 8 is a instant hit. You
Yes,
cannot do
can't
much,
do anything with
but
that.
you can roll a 6 and not have your unit wiped out.
I would love to do that.
But you will do?
No,
I will
You will not.
No.
So your guided missile is basically removed as well because you have no ways to use it anymore. That's the
The only
downside.
people capable of us are unfortunately
Yes.
Yeah,
unfortunately gone.
Your
the
scouts
drone
have been
operator
scouted.
have no visual anymore, so basically.
Goodbye, scouts.
Oh well.
Okay, I forgot how much I loved the Xenos and Socrates jumping around.
Yes.
It was a long time since the last time I played with
It
the
does
text.
give satisfaction, yes.
Right. Well, that'd be a lesson to you, Theo. You've
Oh, yeah.
fallen into my trap.
Yeah.
Right. Me, sir.
Yep.
That was all of you. So
Yeah, I still just have those.
I feel like I might unpin my troop carrier out of badness. Because I've got 2 dice.
The only problem with that is that if you unpin it, you cannot, since it's pinned, you cannot command. So
Yeah.
you want to unpin both, that's 2 dice. That's expensive.
Can I do them in the same turn?
But it's the only things you have, don't you?
Yeah.
So you could do that.
But I still have 1 unit.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I was thinking
You gain some time.
if I unpin the troop carrier first and then
Yeah.
wait for the droids to make their move.
And
Absolutely.
in this case, for example, if you decide to pass, it's very likely that I would pass
pass
as
as
well,
well, of course.
because I
Right,
control
no.
this.
Very
I'm in a
convenient
good position to,
situation.
to pass.
So I will just unpin that. For
The second thing you can do is you can run very close to this and again wait for the next round for them to jump away. And you can react with 2 different things. That's going to be 6d6 against that.
That's strategical.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
It's almost as like you wrote the game
Really?
and you
Oh,
know how to make it.
how dare you suggest such a thing?
That you know the games well.
I'm very interested in that. When you're reacting to something, is it just within line of sight?
It has
Yeah.
to be in line of sight. The thing that triggers your reaction is either someone moving or someone shooting at you.
Okay.
So the movement is the usual thing that causes reaction, yes.
So realistically, I don't really even need to move particularly far. I
Yeah,
just
but
need
if you
to-
move enough to be within 1 DU, that's really nice. Because at that point, you get to do the armor piercing and the chances of doing any damage are more than, 0,
Okay.
which is convenient.
So move up to there, staring down the barrel.
Okay.
Trip carrier.
Now there's the plot twist. The Xenon just drops the thing and is like, perfect.
And kill them, or just
Don't
try
get
to
my
jump
favorite.
away and see if
Oh,
before. It will be nice if you have friendly fire.
that would
from
be
one
like
side
an
or the
80s
other.
movie. Perfect,
Yeah.
straight out of an 80s movie.
And I will pass.
Yep.
Because before deciding what to do with them, I want to have them unpinned or something.
And you want to do something.
And
Yeah, because if
I
you pass,
will spend my final AD to unpin my infantryman.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm so sorry. Oh, yeah, whatever. Like, there was some barricade here,
The
but it's not going to
barricades
be
are-
as much anymore. Let's go be like here.
the barricades change during the fight.
Yeah, exactly.
They are,
So you unpinned it. You still have 1 action.
yes.
You're not in contact with the objective anymore because
No,
the
because
unit that was in contact, the base that was in contact got killed. You just can move slightly further away, closer to try and do that thing.
Which, I mean, at this point, why would I not?
Yeah, just a little bit.
Into there.
Your objective, like your goal would be to grab it or to read it on the spot.
If I read it on the spot,
You get only 1 card,
one
but
card,
then
but
you don't have to
immediately?
run back, which is kind of
and,
nice.
and the better thing is, I get that immediately.
yeah.
Yeah.
So even when the droids activate and wipe whatever's left out, I've already got a VP
Yes.
in my
Yeah.
hand.
Yes.
So I will 100% just control that.
Yeah. It makes sense that he did the opposite choice because he can jump, but for you,
yeah.
you cannot jump that much.
Me, I'm just going to take this.
Yeah, but you get it at the end of
Oh,
the
yeah,
round.
The end of the round?
Yeah.
Okay.
After, because he
so there's
still has
a-
the chance
I
to
can
contest
still,
it.
I
right?
can
Okay.
still pin you, and that is probably what I'm gonna
I
do.
know what it's going to be.
I'm
If you
given that
Wow.
I have the sanctioned, I don't have to use a dice to
You activate and all.
activate. I activate for free and do 1 and 2.
You're still not in close combat.
No, but I put this one and the other basically follow
Just
through.
behind, yeah.
So they are
More
here,
or less, yeah. Whatever, it's fine, of course.
sort of here. And even if it's not close combat, they can shoot at you and try to pin you down
You need to
before
roll a 6, basically.
you read the valuable data.
That's 3
So-
dice. Chances of a 6 are not too low.
Well,
Well, it's 1 and 3.
it's
You said
Welcome to my
3.
world.
That was 3.
Yeah, well,
actually.
It's more than 6, it's 9 because it's
Yes.
free for free. But
Sadly,
yeah,
again, that's just not like it works.
so the bullets just went
Yeah.
back on the.
So your heroics guys actually
Yes.
did something good.
Well done, them.
So yeah, you
I
take
will
the
get
turn.
that.
So this is
This
the end
is
of the
the end of the
round.
round.
Is the
Yeah,
end of the
let's
round.
just unroll. Nobody has
Spent
new
dice.
stuff. You still have this available, which is pretty good.
I still have this one available that is there.
Definitely. And yeah, let's get the things. You get to draw 1 card.
And I get to draw 1 because
You get to
I
draw
still
because you're still
control that
controlling
one.
that.
Okay.
I actually did a small mistake before because I didn't notice that your heavy infantry crossed the gas station and run. It got shot as a reaction, and that means that the second action they got was cancelled. But it was cancelled because they got pinned, and being pinned, the second action must be unpinned.
To unpin.
So they simply arrived there, not pinned, but they didn't get to the second action. So they didn't shoot, the others shoot back and they didn't hit them. Like they hit them, but they didn't damage them. The result is that none of them is pinned. Both of them are contesting each other's attempt to get the objective.
That
So in this
means
case-
that I didn't get the victory point for that objective.
Exactly.
That is more important that should have the shooting probably.
Exactly.
Okay.
So yeah, because now we
I
have
don't think the
one,
strategy changed much
one
because at
vi-
that point the
no,
other
but
things
yeah,
were going to
but
happen
the important
anyways.
thing is now we have both 1 victory card.
Exactly. At the
instead
end of the second round.
So now is the third round.
We can remove this thing because you decided to read the drive instead of grab it.
So yeah,
So
this
these
is gone.
things
Can do whatever they want at this point. They're not very important anymore.
Right.
And that's the end of the second round.
Right.
Third round
we should
means-
be right back for the third round in just one moment.
Yes.
Okay, we're back for turn 3. We've already sorted out our activation die for this round, and Theo actually has the initiative as well.
And remove the wounded.
And
So-
most importantly, the backup has
Yes.
come.
Yes.
We both have backup, so I have received a support vehicle with light MG and light cannon, and a heavy battle tank with heavy cannon and reactive armor.
And these are in reserve, so they will have to get deployed during the round.
While I have a second Xeno.
Xeno?
Yeah, this one should have been on the already deployed one, of course.
That makes sense, yes.
A second Xeno and 2 couple of light spider droids that are not strong, but they can pop out from whatever you want.
However,
out
the
of the
roll
walls.
of the activation dice was a bit unlucky, so
Very
they
unlucky.
didn't get enough dice to be able to do everything they
I
wanted.
needed a lot of 1 and 2 this time, and I just rolled 1 that have been put here.
She
So-
said I would have sold you a couple of 1s
Yeah.
and 2s.
Yeah,
It would have
and-
cost you a lot of reaction
sorry.
dice to buy them off.
This
remind
one.
you.
Like a
Of
Monopoly
course,
crossover.
Yeah.
That would be perfect.
Yeah, and so I have a lot of firepower, but not a lot of mobility. And this time I would have wanted way more mobility than firepower.
So you work with what you have,
Yeah, but I won the initiative, so
which is also really good.
what I will do will start by activate this battle droids.
See? Ha!
These battle droids that activate and first action they unpin themselves.
Okay.
Just
And second action they shoot with the light railgun against this
Ouch!
Against my energy tank.
yeah, that is just 1d6, but
You're
it's
just
AP2.
The absolute worst.
Yeah.
He wasn't even doing anything to hurt you, and you're just turning around and
Well,
shooting.
he suppressed me before.
He didn't suppress you before. He just
Actually, it
gave you a
is
gentle nudge.
it is further than 1DU because you're shooting from the thing behind.
Oh yeah.
Also, it doesn't have a minimum range.
No,
But,
it's
like
60.
it is an interesting situation there because it's both too close and too far. That's really lethal.
So just 1d6, but AP2. Let's hope for the best. Well,
Well, it goes
I
in.
got it. I got it.
So you're hit with a 5, and your defense is,
Defense is 3d10.
So,
but it's AP2
But
again, so you get to roll 1d10.
but you have to make 5 or more. So
5
it's
plus.
not that difficult.
Don't say
but
that.
Yes,
Oh,
that's
I make
saved.
Yeah,
It was worth trying.
it was worth trying.
Again, unpinning it at the very beginning is risky because there are more chances to pin it again.
And again, of course.
But you get to shoot in the cool moment, so that's nice.
yeah, and that was my first move.
Okay.
Go for it.
So you have so many choices.
I have a lot of choices going on here. And the question is, which one do I want to go for first?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so choices I have, of which there are many. I can bring on my new reinforcements. Well, one of them anyway.
Yes.
Or I have way down there my commander and my troop carrier and my infantry facing off against some droids, or
Yeah, if you actually manage somehow to, well, you can even try to just shoot the jumpy Xeno, and the Xeno is gonna probably jump as a reaction. So, which one is the reactive one? The Xeno,
Is
right?
the one that is deployed.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And he has the sentient AI, so he can react with 2 actions.
Yes, so you can even shoot back before.
Shoot back before jumping.
Well, if you do that, actually, you get both enemies reacting to you because the shooting back is done, and then you jump and you get shot again.
That
So
would be
maybe you don't want to do that.
But maybe I just want to jump.
or I could go for the energy tank that you just attempted to take out.
You can totally do that.
Pay there. I think I might go for.
I mean, if you manage to move the energy tank a bit behind and hit those, the energy tank is really strong against weak infantry. So,
Weak infantry,
but not now. Like at any point in the future, it's
but I
fine.
wouldn't be able to drive behind them there.
No, you
because
just
of the-
move a bit in that direction.
So I
That's
just have
the-
to come slightly down Main Street and then.
You
tug
can
them
do that,
behind.
but it's not a rush decision.
It's not a mad panic right now.
That one might
No.
be.
He may be slightly more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But what I might do is just.
The nasty thing.
I mean, I think I might shoot your Xeno down.
That gives me satisfaction for some reason.
Yeah.
Shooting the...
Yeah, he might actually do some Evo from reserve.
Yeah, I think so. Because I can't really afford the Xeno to run off with whatever he's
Yeah.
carrying. I'd much rather he died here clutching it in his cold, dead robot hands.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spend the activation dice to bring a heavy battle tank in.
Yes. It cannot be deployed anywhere closer than 2DU from an enemy. So you have to be like
Well, yeah, it can
pretty
be
much anywhere on the edge. Yes. It can be here. It can be here. Maybe here is better because then you have also more enemies, whatever. Up to you.
And slightly further away from that bouncing thing
Oh,
if he
that's
decides
true.
to jump as well.
Yeah. If you're not aiming to hunt it, but just run away from it, which is
Well,
very fair.
I've got more than enough on my plate right now
Definitely.
for the first. Light MGs are free, heavy cannon in there, reactive armor.
But you get to do only one action because you just deploy. The deploy itself does not trigger a reaction,
Yeah.
but as soon as you shoot, that's going to react and you can react to the reaction. So that can be a small chain
of events,
reaction.
yeah.
Hey.
I will.
I see what you did there.
Yes. Actually, I should change the
I'm going to spend that.
paragraph chapter into that.
Chain reaction, yeah.
And outside of 2.
Yes.
Yep. So
So somewhere down
Very
there.
fine. You get to see that without cover because you just spawn at the right
and
point.
those one clearly were like here. No,
Those things are just moving to protect it.
yeah, like right here. No.
So it appears from behind the table. It doesn't move further because if it did, it would trigger the reaction. You don't want that.
No,
You're just going to shoot.
I just want to come in,
And shoot.
shoot him in the side of the head.
And
then
you're
see
going to
what he
react.
does.
And yeah, I will react, and as the song say, might as well jump.
And you're going to react to the reaction if you want.
Yes, my
So
troop carrier.
everything happened at the same time,
Yes.
but for the sake of simplicity, we will go in order
Yes.
of how we announce the
You can
stuff.
destroy it. It's going to still react. Whatever happens at the same time. So let's start with a heavy gun.
Yes, heavy gun is a mere 2d10, which will really upset me whenever I
Roll
feel
double one.
feel terribly. It also has a 2 to 4 DU range, so you don't really want to be too close to it anyway.
Yeah.
And it's a good thing that you have to deploy further than 2DU, otherwise.
And any intervening cover? No.
No,
No.
So
That's a 6 and a 7.
Seven.
that's
That's
quite big.
very good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
I'll
okay.
take that.
I have
You parry with 1d10 each, so you have
one
to
D10
counter.
each. So
Yep.
the 6
It's a 9.
and the 7,
It's a 1.
one.
So you got hit with 1.
I hit with 1. I roll the D6, that is 2, and given that it's a Xeno,
Uh-oh.
Dead.
dead.
Oh,
So
that's the best use of
the rest of the reactions were a
Yeah,
bit,
the jump was a short one.
yes,
I mean,
it
it sort
was.
of jump in the air, but not in the way.
Yeah, it didn't manage to. However, you react.
I still, because I reacted, the action dice for both of them are still gone though.
You lost. You lost. Well, this one didn't react. That one reacted for sure.
That one reacted.
Yeah, so you get to react with that, which means that you still do two actions. Sorry, one action.
One action,
Oh,
but
So
I mean,
I'm still spending the die. I'm still doing something.
you
active.
wasted the die, but at least you got to
the
do
data
something.
is lost forever.
The data is there on the floor.
It's there on the floor, so if I manage to go there with another unit, maybe I could get it, but now the situation got quite hot.
You
on
do
this
have
area.
another Xeno, so
Might as well jump
Yes.
there and try that again. Using
I
the
wonder.
Cadorna School of Military, I will
So
try
once you
again
just-
and again and again and
Okay.
again
and then you will just
and then again,
point fingers elsewhere.
of course.
I may just move into the. Onto that cover there,
Why not?
because at least it leaves me in a position where I can see terrible people currently at this crash drop.
Oh, and also this unit I can.
You can remove it. Give it
Remove
to
it.
me. I am the graveyard here.
You are the graveyard. This dice is lost forever.
Yes.
The token is lost, but
the AI stays.
is now here.
Yeah.
Next turn I will put it somewhere.
Or if you had another software upgrade, you could move it.
Yeah, but I already used
You
it,
don't
so
have
I have to wait for the next turn.
You go, my friend.
So I go.
Also,
Well,
don't forget that you have a spotter drone.
Yes.
That's convenient sometimes. You just remove the cover from somewhere, and for those, it could be like, in some situation, it could be actually very convenient.
so
like
at this point, I have to see my situation because going back to take this one, it's probably never gonna happen because too many stuff around here.
Yeah, sounds like.
He took this one,
So
so
no interest
that's
there
one gone.
anymore.
So whole this area is basically useless for me now. I should try to hold to this one for as long as possible. Try to get this one.
Which is kind of empty.
It's kind of empty because he has the support vehicle and that one, and this one is a long way far.
And the infantry that is close to the tank is the
The
wrong
spot,
kind of
the spot, the scouts are
ahead.
gone.
scouts were.
So yeah, so
Wrong guys.
probably I will either go for Socrates or Zeno. I will go with the Zeno, but it's only one action when it's coming, so
Yeah.
I can. So yeah, it's okay. No, let's do the funny. No, because I don't have any more one or two because I rolled badly. I wanted to just come in, jump here, and next turn take it and
just,
go
like,
away.
try
But
to
I don't
create
have the
a mess
dice.
there.
So yeah, I will just shoot the stuff. In the end, it's the only things to do. So
You have to.
yeah, I have to. I feel that I have to.
And his stuff is still stuff.
So yeah, I will activate the Socrates, and given that I cannot jump, I will just walk like the peasant do, instead of.
I can imagine the Socrates just shambling like, this thing doesn't work as well as rockets.
Yeah, I can see him through here. Yeah, so I will walk here.
Just trying to hunt everyone.
And just try to snipe him through the barricades with the light cannon.
Yeah. I could react. and
You
attempt to shoot
totally
them
can, yes.
with an energy cannon.
I mean, the thing is, once you react, you can do whatever. So
Yeah.
you can even move away.
It's true.
And moving away could, I mean, you
It's
kind of wasted the
It's simultaneous, though. Yeah.
It's simultaneous, yeah.
So I can still shoot at you.
no, because
no,
he
because
reacts
the moment to the
so
movement, yeah, not to
you're
the shooting.
you're moving away. Maybe you're going somewhere useful. I don't know exactly where, but
No, I don't know myself either.
so you're gonna take the
I
hit
think I'm
and
just
see.
going to weather the storm.
That's a good idea.
Okay,
And hopefully I'll
so
deal with the troops in a moment.
I forgot he has three
Three
actions.
actions.
So the light cannon and the light MG. Just,
Okay, because
for
it's
the-
free.
for good
why not?
measure,
Yeah,
it's
of course. It's really weak, but
Yeah,
why not?
but so
Why not? Why not?
the-
Absolutely.
the cannon 2d8 AP2.
There is just one cover, so you hit at 5+.
Yeah. So I
The
with
8
one-
goes in.
the 8
You
goes in.
get to parry an 8 with just 1d10. Chances are not on your side this time. Yes. So you roll a die. On 1 it's dead. On the other things, let's see what happens. 1.
And
That was a lucky shot. So your energy tank was out of energy.
yeah,
Was
It
commissioned.
had an action die on as well.
It
so
did
it
lose
loses
an
that.
action die. Well, I mean, it
and
goes back
with
into
the
spent, but still.
second free action that
And also that's 1 victory point lost because
will
at
not
the end of the
be-
round, every 5 points of units lost is 1 victory point lost.
Yeah.
So
he will not shoot with the machine gun because there is nothing that you can see, but he can just do a very short second move.
why not?
Yeah,
That
it's
sounds like-
just that they hate working. They have
Yeah,
rockets
exactly.
for a reason. Their rockets jump for a reason. But yeah, the Socrates
Busy,
managed to earn his paycheck today as well.
So you still have the support vehicle. The heavy battle tank has activated already. The troop carrier did activate already.
Yes.
So I'm just gonna
Yeah,
do the thing with it.
feel free.
Oh, that one was
Yeah.
the body was still there, but not great.
Well, now, the battle droids then on the central objective.
Yeah.
They're your heavy droids.
Those are not the heavy droids are
The
those.
heavy droids are those. So they're
Those
just
are-
regular battle droids.
Those are the battle droids that already. Oh no! So yeah, sorry.
Neither of those activated.
Yeah,
The heavy one.
Yeah,
activated.
exactly.
Yes, that's correct.
I rotated the wrong card.
You have a spotter drones, as we said, that removes cover. It would make a simple heavy MG pretty useful. So you might want to just use that there. But then you're telling Phil,
Well, yeah.
be careful. This place is in the spot.
But hilarious though.
Yeah, it would be actually even realistic. Are we going that far?
Well, I certainly will. I'm certainly going there. I'll give you that. Because I think if I get weighted in there, I need to stop you scoring victory points off that. Anyway, so yeah,
Yeah, I'd say that at the time is basically deciding the game around that
Yeah,
area.
basically.
so. All cover bonuses are ignored until the end of the round. If I was activating the heavy, or my armored infantry rather, anyway, in that area, even though we're that close, he would still get the cover because of.
No, you can totally hit it without the cover. I'm just saying that if you use it,
Yep.
you can use
I
other
could
things
bring
from
other
far
vehicles
away.
Far
Yeah.
away.
Including like a support vehicle, whatever, until the end of the round, so it lasts a while.
Yeah.
If you want to use the infantry now, that one doesn't need anything else, of course.
I think I might just go ahead with the armored infantry now
Sure. Put some
because
juicy dice on it, and you're gonna get.
well, he's already rocking.
You can even shoot a grenade launcher and a heavy MG.
I would need a 6 for that, and unfortunately,
You don't have
For
sixes.
once, I didn't.
Oh.
I didn't roll any 6s.
Do you want a 6 in exchange for a 1?
Are we gonna play Catan now?
Yeah. I can throw
I need
some
more
sheep
wool.
in.
So I will just go ahead and use my activation dice there, and will repeatedly shoot you.
Well,
With gun and MG.
Yes,
okay,
rifle
so
and then heavy MG.
Again, your choice. Which one first?
yeah, against those. Yeah,
Yes.
right. Okay, I won't react for this time.
That's very decent of you.
Yeah.
I've got 2 die of rifle.
Yep.
That's a 5.
One will get in on a 5.
So you get a D6. No, D8.
D8.
Sorry.
Yeah, and I have to do 5,
It's 50-50.
and
4.
I didn't. So,
So you're pinned. You would have been pinned anyways, but you lose
but
one.
I also lose this one.
And
Second
then,
one towards on them or someone else.
well, because they're pinned,
Yeah.
they could unpin.
They
to
could have been
contest.
anyways. Yeah, you can totally wipe them out.
I'm going to attempt to wipe them out
Yeah,
with
yeah,
the heavy
MG.
MG.
Yeah, that makes sense. If it goes well, that's really good.
Yeah.
It goes very well if it goes well.
Survey says
That goes pretty well. That's 3
Wow.
4s. Like it's a kind of low numbers, but in
Yeah,
big
But 3
amount.
of them. So,
Yeah.
well, I could throw them
throw all of them
all
at once.
together. And I managed to.
Jeez.
Okay, that was a good one.
Well,
So-
they
It was a spectacular
Where-
exchange of fire.
yeah. When they were pinned, they were like
Yeah, exactly.
very, very low.
There were
Very still.
Okay.
cautious droids.
Yeah.
Very well. Okay,
Well,
you still have
that's-
3 dice, you still have 4 dice. That's
Yeah,
a bit of stuff
and
to do more. That's good.
And what I will do is, you still have around here. No, these are
These are activated.
He's activated.
those not.
They haven't.
The MBT is still active. It's still activatable. Well,
Activatable.
didn't
And there is
activate
the
And there's the support vehicle.
yes.
so those can wait.
Plus the spotted drones, which allows you also to get a bit of a delay in
Those
case you
can
want to see it.
wait.
Or you keep it next round, which might be more
Those-
precious at this point.
No, okay, I will try. I will go for the fun, not this time. Those no, those are where the heavy that shot. So I need this and this. So yeah, or that zero that can shoot. Those are pretty useless. Yeah, well, I will go for the funny. So the battle droids here activate. Yeah, activate. And shoot. First action, they unpin.
Okay.
And second action, they shoot just with the rifle against them.
Yeah, that's 2d6.
So 2d6.
It's a 5 and a 6. You can
Harsh.
you have d6 to parry because it's 2d6, but it's not a lot.
And most importantly, they are
And you're
pinned
pinned.
in any case.
Dookie. So a 5 and a 6.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go with one of the two.
'Cause
You only
you've got
roll
AP.
one because it's in short.
It's within 1d8.
Yeah.
So for the 5,
It's a 6. That's
So
good.
that's okay.
save that. And for the 6,
That's a 1.
One.
So
So
you
it's
lose 1. You're still contesting, but
No,
you're pinned, so
no.
you're not contesting
Yeah.
anymore. Yes. Whoops.
it's
So
very sad.
the idea worked, and that's it. Yeah.
Okay.
So I have those. I have to think how to use those.
So for myself,
Back to the original strategies, I guess.
I feel like the infantrymen may activate. They're currently not pinned. on
And they are not in
objective.
cover. They're in a very risky position right now. But also, even if they die, they are
Yeah.
not very useful either. So
Chances of losing both is pretty low, and
Yeah.
they hold the ground.
yeah, and he already took the objective. So
It means that you're basically wasting your troops for the rest of the game.
yeah, it's
Because, like, one round here, then you're not going anywhere in just one round. So,
yeah, and so basically, I probably will leave
So
them there.
if I activate my infantrymen,
yeah.
they have a free rifle shot,
Yes, yeah.
or I could spend cash money for grenade. I think I'm just going to go with a free rifle shot.
Yeah.
So for one,
I mean, the idea is that if you use the grenade as well, you're going to do both. So that's 1 extra d6. But you don't have many dice,
I
so
don't have
maybe
my, yeah.
better not to.
So I'm just going to spend the 1 activation die
Mhm.
on my infantryman
Yeah.
and shoot into your robot
Yep.
Yep.
just there.
Maybe one of them would be close combat. No, they're
no.
not. So, but
Slightly
they are
out.
they are out in the open. So
Yeah,
whatever.
infantry out in the open is really weak.
Yeah. So you hit at 4. That's 2 dice. You hit both.
Both on force.
You have to parry the 4 with the 8s. You can roll both.
Yeah.
There's a 7 and a 1. You lose 1. You're
One
pinned.
pinned, and
A second action.
The second action I will use to back up
That
somewhat
makes a lot of sense.
and see if I can find somewhere a little more in cover to hide in.
Just in case they wanted to get back to you.
Well,
also,
more importantly, if they want to come through my little choke point to try
Exactly.
and get their objective, which is just here.
plus you don't want to lose points. So
Well, I'd love not to lose points.
at this point, you lost pretty much the same amount, I would say.
So 1 to there,
So-
and then
Could be worse.
yeah.
tuck in around there. And at least they're in cover. And forcing you to come to me if you want to come to me. Or maybe don't.
Or maybe don't.
Maybe you've had enough of this.
While I will use an activation dice to make the Xeno.
Oh, you still have a Xeno.
Yeah.
No ones, but you still have a Xeno.
Look at it
Work
running on.
inside here.
And you can get closer than 2DU because the infantry is pinned.
Yes.
Yeah, and I have the action other than.
Look at that. Straight down
And
the
I will just use the light minigun, that is a good 3d6
Yep.
against the lone
Yeah.
armored infantry left there. Well, alone is 4 of them, but
And in
still.
cover, so
But
you don't hit.
a couple of 5.
But it's in cover, so
Oh, yes.
infantry is
cover.
hard to hit if it's not really close
because
or
even they are pinned, they're still in cover. So yeah, they just
Oh, that's good news for me.
it still made sense.
he just announced his arrival. Let's see.
Don't tell my little armoured friends.
Sorry.
So, done with him?
Yep.
Yeah.
He still has potentially to deploy those things, and it makes sense too, I guess. But that's it. On your side, you still have the tank commander
Yep.
and eventually the spotter drones.
And my support vehicle.
Potentially the spotter drones. They're eventually, like, next round.
And
And the support
my
vehicle, you're right, you have 3 things.
So,
This one is free, but if you want to shoot, you're going to
Yes.
use a die. So,
but spotter drones, they cost me 1 to use.
they don't cost any AD. It's just that it's a single
It's a
use.
single use and then it goes. So I could potentially use the spotter drones there,
Yeah.
bring the support vehicle on somewhere where they can draw
And
a
just
bead on
shoot.
them and then just shoot
Absolutely.
and not worry about the cover and hopefully do enough.
Absolutely.
So, with that being said,
Yeah.
let's try that. And if it doesn't work, we won't do it again.
Yep.
So that makes sense. Can I get how many or what are the minuses for multiple range plans? Or is it you just
You just get a +1 on the defense of the of the target. It's
because I'm only going to be able to activate my light MG
Yep.
and it's going to be up to 4 then after I come on and I can come on
I'm pretty sure. I mean, you can come on the
can
first
come on up to
TDU,
2.
so you can get
Yeah.
basically
so I can get into range to fire
easily
with the MG. So
without even a penalty. No,
I'll put 1 on the light MG.
Yeah, you need
and then
that.
I'll spend 1 to activate.
you actually don't need that because you're deploying. Deploying is free,
Oh, okay. Even
so
better.
you still have a
Still
die
have a
for
left
the tank
for the tank itself, my
in
commander.
case you wanted it for some reason.
I imagine I probably will at some point.
Mhm.
We'll just bring on my little support to there.
But first, you have to use the spotter
Oh,
drones.
spotter drones first.
So
and
you
then-
use that, then it's his turn,
okay.
and then
And
we'll see.
then-
Yeah.
Yeah.
In that
Which
case-
gives an extra advantage because now he has to make the last choice, basically.
Yeah. And my
Not very
last,
convinced, are you?
no, yeah.
We're
My
like,
last choice will be
something.
making those 2 little zergs come in, and they move just 1 DU, so they just go.
Oh,
I mean,
shame.
that's the part of the deployment for.
Oh
if
yes,
you
so,
want.
yeah. So
Because
they can deploy
Within
2
the
even
deploy
if you-
area,
Okay,
so
so they
whenever you
basically go, behind this one. That means they can steal. Well, only 1 actually. Oof. No, okay, both of them can shoot. It's just the rifles, but it's
you have to pay for it. That's it.
yeah. It's 2d6 per base, so for
What is the range?
2du.
So you're further. Oh no, you're not because pinned.
No.
Right.
One is
Within, one is
and
without.
one there is the
So you roll one at 5 plus. Sorry, 6 plus. The others is 7 plus
7 plus.
because it's in
Because
cover,
in cover,
plus
yeah.
1. So you hit with 1.
Yeah. So the other one I cannot shoot. I cannot
Yeah,
make.
exactly. But each of them shoots 2d6. So they have quite a firepower.
So first 2
Nothing.
miss badly. I can try to pull a 7 with a d6. I didn't. So
That will be
Span on its corner forever, I would give you it.
Confrontation had that. That you could roll a 6 and try to roll again.
okay, so yeah, they just came in and tried to. Yeah, they announced their arrival, like
Yeah.
the
That was a warning shot.
Yeah, the famous
In
word
that
shot.
case, my support vehicle will Put that on there now, and then deploy.
And deploy.
Yeah.
You can place it pretty much wherever, within 3DU. Yeah, that's fine. A bit more, maybe. Otherwise, I don't think it would be in 3DU distance. And
Okie dokie.
it is time to roll
And then 3d6 for my light MG.
another light MG. That's nice.
And hopefully you'll go away completely.
Would be nice.
Well, hopefully.
Because you've no cover.
I mean, it's 2 bases, right?
Yeah.
There's a chance.
There's always a chance.
You hit at 4+. There's a 6 and a 4.
Yeah.
6 and a 4.
But you have the 8, so you can still save.
So let's try the 4.
Don't feel like you have to.
3.
Good.
One is hit.
Fail. And let's
The
try the
6.
6.
4.
4. And so both
actually
of them
worked.
Nobody is more surprised than I.
and we can say goodbye to those battle droids.
Battle droids are another flip down card.
Yep. That
Very
makes
well.
the game interesting because now... Oh, no.
Yes.
This counts as infantry.
Yes.
So, and I was thinking about wait for them to deploy later, but they can arrive... No, they cannot arrive in contact with the objective.
They're very slow. They're very
They are
slow.
very slow. So, yeah, so end of the turn for me, I pass. I wait to deploy
still
them.
have this one that can be activated.
Yes.
I don't know what you want to do, but you might, I don't know, move here and like shoot there just to see, but it's not going to be much. No, you cannot do anything because it's a D6 small gun, whatever.
Yeah.
You can reposition it wherever you want. The thing is, in any case, you won't be able to command both of them.
No. But
So maybe you
one
want
of them
to-
is one of them is already pretty much where he needs
That's
to
true,
be.
that's true.
So for my final action die, I will spin around and head out that way.
I like that I removed the turret and now it looks very awkward.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to work out who you belong to. Say, well, waist front? Okay. As long as I'm not drifting sideways, that's the main thing.
Yeah.
I bet someone's one.
Especially
You can put it within
the
2 if you
enlisted
want.
tanks
I
have
was just with, oh, hell.
That's fine.
similar base and different turrets. So without a turret, it could be
Whatever.
whatever enlisted vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Very
That's
well.
Me all done.
We
End
can
of the-
Yeah.
unpin everything. Neither of you have unspent dice, so
No, I
that's
have
the end of the
one.
round. Oh, you
This
have.
one.
Here's-
That's really
here's
good.
one.
And it will go.
Nobody's controlling anything, so no more victory cards this round neither, because the central one is not contested. That's the end of round 3.
We'll be right back for the final round in just a moment. All right, we're back for the last turn of our little blitz. Theo has the initiative. Unfortunately, it's very annoying.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no, did I win?
no, you
I won.
won the initiative. Yeah.
I'm so used to losing things.
No.
So I have the initiative. Theo's picked his reactions already.
Yeah.
And I'm about to wade in here and win everything. Yeah.
We'll see about that.
So I think the first thing I'm going to do is pass.
Oh. If I won the initiative, I would have passed. If I pass as well, it will be
That's the end
very,
of the game.
very anticlimactic.
Yes.
But no, I won't pass now.
You can't be sure
You have
what
a-
I've got here.
Yeah. No. I will do. Yeah. Given that this can jump, activate, then yeah. Okay, so I will activate the Socrates with his 5. He has the sentient, so he's doing the. No, sorry, I mixed up the 2 AIs during the prepping part, so it should have been this one. This one extra action. This one no dice for
That makes
activate.
sense, yes.
Yeah. So
It explains why you're paying for something that you would be getting for free otherwise if you had the sent thing. Okay,
Yeah.
now.
so he can do free stuff, and
Instead of 2.
instead of 2, and he can command those
Okay.
Which is
because
also
they're
main,
close
yeah.
enough. So action 1, he do the jump, because if you have paid attention during the video, you know how much I like to make droids jump. Robots, not droids. He jumps free, yeah. So it can go here. And then with this 6, he can shoot the light cannon, and that this fella right here, that is the support vehicle.
Yes.
Oh, and you didn't put any die in reaction, huh?
No.
That's
This is within the
potentially
free.
risky.
Yeah. So 2d8 AP2 on the side.
It's still on the front. The
It's still-
side,
oh, yeah, because-
the side
you're
starts
right.
after.
I lost a die.
Oh, 1d8 only.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
think you're gonna
because
miss.
it's that way. Okay.
So
That's a 5 and a 3. The 5 gets in.
The free.
that's
No.
unfortunate.
The support vehicle has 1d10.
D10.
So yeah, it's not that hard to.
Don't say that.
10.
Ooh, 10.
Okay, nothing happened.
See?
So it's bounced.
Third
on,
action?
It ricochet. Third action, of course, is to fire with the minigun. Those are covered.
Yes, and also there is a building
sorry.
in between, so
Yeah, no, but sorry. The third action was to move, of course, and to just do a couple of steps here
all right.
for reasons.
Okay, interesting.
One reason is that he cannot move.
It definitely
across me.
cannot. It definitely
It's
cannot.
basically a wall now.
Yes.
And he acted while
Let's remember this is the last round, so this is the last thing that Socrates is going
will
to do.
ever do in his
And
whole
that
existence.
means we have to reason accordingly.
Yeah, and he activated those
Yes.
that doesn't even need to unpin or move. They just shoot with the rifle on the
Of course.
Armored infantry.
armored infantry. Try to finish them off.
That would be great.
Those are the heavy droids.
Not sure
so
you're biased there.
heavy rifle.
Oh, my bias is on the other direction, so
two bases, 1d8 each. So 2d8s on those units. It's a 5 and a 6. The 5 doesn't.
both of them hit.
Oh yeah,
Because
because
they're
they're
close.
close by.
Under
Yeah,
the
yeah,
U, yeah.
because they're close. So,
So it's a armor piercing.
So my 2d6 goes
One
down
of
to
them at least is.
goes down to 1.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I-
both of them are enclosed, so it's
Yeah.
fine.
So to save the 5.
Nope.
No.
Oh, it's okay.
And he's
But-
dead.
yes.
yeah.
Would
I mean,
save
they
the
did-
6? No.
No, you don't.
Oh, I just got riddled with bullets. It was like the end of Robocop.
And so
Yes.
those are
Removed
also,
from game.
and most importantly, nobody's around here now.
What's the second action?
Oh, they can move.
Yes, they can move.
Yeah, I did.
You can try to get the objective.
No, they cannot go to the objective because they move to you. Well,
They
can. They
They
can.
can.
And so technically, they are getting here
1 and 2.
and in cover of these trees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that area is more cramped that it looks from here. So
Yeah, that is true.
so yeah, and they've done forever for this game.
So let's not forget that even vehicles can get objectives. They just need to use an action for
Yeah.
that. Just to know.
Yep, no, that's fine. I'm with you. I see where we're going. Now, so with him being that close, what restrictions does he put on my little support vehicle?
Actually, nothing. It's just that you cannot just cross the area of influence, which is like 1
You
U
can
against the
not-
unit,
Drive through him.
and move past it. You can totally get into that, but you cannot just move past it in the same action. You have to stop, you have to do another movement action, or you just don't go
Actually,
there.
those one, the vehicle can go through them. with
Those are
one.
passable, yes.
You just have to go there, adjust the position, and cross
Basically, what the infantry does with big buildings,
they
vehicles
can-
can do with a small barricade, which is nice.
Okay.
So you have a lot of things that can get there. You have the infantry that can run there, and you get it. You have this one which can run and get an objective. This one can do stuff. And these two, we'll see about that.
Yeah,
It's a final showdown, basically.
it is.
Yeah.
And let's remember that the last round, who gets that gets 2 cards.
Yes. They have to unpin if they want to do anything.
Yeah, they won't do anything.
They can't remount.
It's not necessary. You
disgorge
can just
one
run.
time.
In three, like 2 + 1, 2 actions of movement, you are here.
Okay.
Just so,
I'm going to activate my troop carrier
yes.
and fire my little troop carrier forward Dun, dun, dun. 3DU. So, more or less, bump 2 to there, and then go, hello, chummy.
Close enough to being short.
Yeah.
And then you shoot.
And then unload with my light MG.
That makes a lot of sense.
And 3d6.
3d6 is not.
Is in cover.
It is not because you're in cover. You're in short.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
the-
right.
The usual thing.
So
4, 4, 6.
Wow.
Ouch.
that's
Ouch, indeed.
You get the d8, which is good.
Yeah, because they are battle droids.
Yeah, yeah.
No, they're
No, they're the heavy
They're
one.
your heavy
They're
one.
heavy
the
one.
heavy
So
ones.
it's d10.
It's D10. Yeah.
That's even better. So 4.
4, 4, and 4, 4,
Carried with a 5, with an
And
8, the 6,
6.
with a 5. One gets in.
One gets in, so this one is a goner, and those.
It's hit.
That's a infantry heavy battle this time.
yes,
Yeah. That's been a lot of infantry this time, yes.
I'm very happy.
Very useful.
Yeah,
Usually there are
useful.
times where it's just there to get shot.
Yeah, lots of stuff happened with infantry.
And most importantly, this one cannot get unpinned anymore
Yeah,
because
because they've already
That's it.
gone.
they're gone.
I'm assuming you commanded that with the,
Yes.
the thing? Okay.
Yeah, because
Should have been declared, but it sounds like very
Yeah,
reasonable.
it's obvious.
the 1-2 punch. At least that's the plan behind it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So their activation.
It doesn't need to because
because
you've been
you've been
commanded, so it's easier.
and
And one of the two gets in touch with the objective because
Because
it's
they move
movement 2 plus 1.
Yep.
Simple as that.
So 3DU across their 2 movements.
One of the two gets there. The other one, not so much, but you can keep it here at least.
Yeah.
It's not in cover. You cannot double kill it, and it can still contest it. So
Yeah.
makes sense. Yeah, that's a very good movement. But he still has like that.
Yeah, the creeping unknown is coming down Main Street.
It definitely is.
Um,
Plus, he has the droids with the deploy. That's going to be scary.
Can deploy.
Lots of stuff happening.
So,
Speaking of,
speaking of, I think it's time for the
well,
Xeno
the support vehicle didn't activate yet.
to
The troop carrier
activate.
did, and the infantry did.
And the Xeno, the Xeno doesn't need dice to activate because yeah, the AI, and it doesn't need the for shooting with the light machine minigun. That is just is for free. But I will put the dice on the
Light
those
spider
droids.
droid. The one already in
The one already in game, yeah.
in game, yes.
So the Xeno will just move here.
Oh, those droids walking are
So it's
so
shoot the
humiliating.
eight,
Okay.
and will decisions, because with the spider droid, of course, I will shoot at the
Yes.
at those because they don't have they are not good against the they're both not good against the vehicle, so those are moved. The vehicle cannot. He's contesting the objective from here.
It isn't because it didn't use an action
and
to
it's a vehicle,
contest,
so
yes.
this one is okay for the.
Yeah. But you still have a
decided to use an
vehicle.
action to shoot you instead.
And this one I haven't
He hasn't
moved yet.
activated yet.
And I see it, yes, but it's just
It's not very powerful, but
minigun.
at this point we are at the final showdown. Whoever controls that will
Yeah,
definitely win.
yeah,
If
so-
nobody does, it's all about who
Well,
killed the most, basically.
Yeah, I will.
So
I will go with
that individual droid.
no. I won't.
Okay,
I won't.
that was a turn of events.
Yeah. Let me see just one thing. Yeah, I won't. Yeah, okay. I will shoot on those three guys.
So it's a 5,
They are in
4,
cover,
6.
so-
You can just hit one. That one, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, that
You
one.
won't be-
Oh,
you
so
won't be-
okay. No, so sorry, I didn't realize that.
Okay,
This one.
okay,
I will
of
shoot
course.
against this one.
Yeah, makes sense.
It doesn't make sense to the whole minigun on one
You're
single
gonna
base.
pin more stuff anyways.
Yeah.
so.
So sorry, against him, it's in the open. So for all of them, got it. But you have to defend, of course, and
Yeah.
there is no armor piercing.
So
So
you're gonna roll 2d10 for each.
For each,
You can
so-
parry a 4, a 5, and a 6.
Yep.
Thank you. So against the
4.
service is
Good.
Yeah.
Next,
Against the
5.
5.
Good. Next one.
And against the 6.
Yeah,
Yeah, well.
nothing happened as it should be, but it was like a desperate last effort, which makes sense.
I'm all about the desperate last.
Meanwhile, you were commanding the droids.
Yeah, I am commanding the droids.
The
They
spider
go-
drones, because we cannot use that word.
Yeah, they go here
Yeah, and they shoot.
and they shoot against them.
But it's further than 1 DU because you were
Yeah.
further than 2.
So maybe I did a big mistake not shooting with the drone. With the Xeno there,
That's
but
actually, I didn't think of it.
we will see. We will see.
That's 4d6s.
46s
And
against
you hit
this single.
at 6. And you hit. It's okay.
At least one.
Yeah.
Okay.
One got in, it's a 6, you parry. If you do 6, you save.
But in any case,
In any case, you're
it's
pinned.
pinned. That was the important thing.
Last round, everything is permanent. 5.
5. Unfortunate. He's gone.
It's gone. His friend is pinned, and the objective is there
Up to grab.
up to grab.
So
But you still have this one
And
and
this
those two. Okay.
that can still run all the way there, but
Yeah,
I
yeah.
cannot grab the objective. So
Okay. I think my tank commander
interesting.
might go.
Sure.
Simply because I know they're there and they're not going to move. I don't know where the little lights are going
Can
to
I
go
get a
yet.
stick?
That's it.
I'm curious. I'm too
Yeah,
curious
now I'm
just
curious
not
to see one thing as well.
If you get here, you might.
So
Let's see how it develops. Very last
tank commander
stand.
will activate and will then use his ability
Yes.
for free action for the
Commanded
heavy
thing.
command the heavy battle tank. And then he will just turn and what's he got on him? MG?
Yeah. Looks like.
I'll come this way. Why not?
Or you can try to hit the Xeno with the MG. I don't know.
Yeah.
Either ways, it's not very effective.
He'll just go there and just live out the rest of his life.
I mean, an
that building.
MG shot doesn't hurt. It's free. You can try to hit something like those or this. Chances are low, but
Yeah. Well, I mean, I couldn't get around the corner without another action. 'Cause
You could.
That's 3 to there.
absolutely. But then you cannot do
But then I can't do
anything
so,
objective-wise.
yeah.
So,
I'll get there. I might, I suppose I could attempt to wipe out that.
So
yeah, there's a very slight chance. But as Theo did with the Xeno, why not?
why not? Well, we can see as I did with the Xeno. Why not?
Yes,
Because
that's also true.
the dice are not.
It's in.
So it's not within 2D.
Oh yeah,
so
that you cannot do much because that's a 6. You hit with a 6, but then there is distance.
Cover.
It becomes 7.
7.
You cannot do
Yeah.
it.
Well, at least
So-
it doesn't cost a die to feel.
Yeah,
No.
exactly.
And then
A
my
heavy tank.
heavy battle tank.
What is it gonna do?
No, it's a very good point.
Those.
It has
This one
a
was spent.
lovely move on it of
3? No, 2 only. Yeah. So you can get in a good try and try to shoot something down.
Yeah.
I guess. You can even try to hit that one if you want to, but maybe that is easier.
I mean, what are the chances of actually going to kill it with one?
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not that low, actually. It happens,
But
but
it's easier on the Xeno.
yeah, it is easier on the Xeno for sure.
This is crossable, isn't it?
Yeah, it's fine. Come on, you can get here.
Onto
It's fine.
there. And go, and then over. And go hello. So that's my first free move
Oh, you're right. You have the free move.
because that was my
Yes, you
commander's free.
do.
So now I've got a
You can even move closer, but not too close, and shoot with a thing. It's 2DU minimum distance, but you can still move in a pretty good spot.
would he not get cover from that intervening thing?
Oh, right.
So I'm thinking move up to here
Yeah.
and then
The problem is there is 2DU minimum distance to shoot with a big cannon.
okay. So I need to be
Yeah, you can get there. It's
at that
fine.
corner.
And even a bit of cover. You're shooting D10. It's not what
So
matters.
that's 1D moved to there, and second is that. Just to turn on the spot.
And then
And then
it's time to roll 2D10,
hello, massive
which
cannon.
could be very anticlimactic. We'll see.
Oh, we've seen how my 2D10 work so far. It's all been absolutely gorgeous and magnificent.
as always.
Zeno.
A 10 and a 1.
10 and a 1. The
I
one.
am the alpha and the omega.
Yeah.
Yes.
No middle ground. So 1d10 just.
1d10
because,
for you.
10, yeah.
Let's see what happens.
I have to do a 10.
You have
With
to do a 10.
Don't do it.
And
That's
a
a 1. That was the other one. You didn't get it right. Almost.
I should have read the manual more.
Yes.
So yeah, I roll a d6 to see the damage on the Xeno. With 1 and 2, it's gone.
And that's
And that is a
2.
2. So
the
goodbye,
Xeno has been
Xeno. That's a
has
lot
been
of points.
Xenoed.
I feel much better about life in general.
Yes.
Yeah, because those could be the point that determine the win.
If you don't get the objective.
Yeah.
And you could get the objective.
Do you have any other unit?
Yes,
This one.
that one.
This one.
That's why I didn't want to move him just yet.
Yes.
Because I feel spider droids everywhere, robots dropping on my head.
Yeah, it's a very good sensation.
That was an interesting.
It's like the rain.
Yeah, I will do. Yeah, I will take time. I will use this one to unpin those poor
Yes.
guys there, and just no, they cannot.
That's very far.
They can just move a little bit. They will just
Fairly certain
move
they
right
can
to-
reach.
move here just to say hey.
Oh, I didn't tell you the map actually goes like a torus.
Oh,
Oh yeah, of course. And that was just my action.
yep.
Pin, tap
Yeah, so-
things.
You say that word.
Yes.
Okay.
Lizard is gonna.
Season
Alright.
disease is coming. And so it's your turn again.
You literally have
I
just a
have the
support vehicle.
Yeah.
Yes.
You can run and control, I guess. Or you can run and shoot and not try to control at all.
I mean, I've got so many dice that haven't been activated yet. I may as well put that on the light cannon anyway, because I don't know yet.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll shoot something instead.
You might shoot and run.
Maybe I won't.
But
But
remember
I can't
that
contest if
Exactly.
I shoot because I need to spend an
remember that the vehicles need to spend an action to contest or to control.
action. Okay.
Like if you control, you're also contesting. It's just that you're in contact.
So if I want to maneuver around this guy, can I just go straight? Or do I have
Yes,
to
you
go
totally can.
out and around?
No, you can
They're
totally can.
pinned, so I don't have to worry about them.
Correct.
So I will just barrel
All the way there.
straight up to that, going hello, and then I'll spend my second action to shoot. No, we're going to control. I will control to at least force you to do something.
But I'm also contesting with them.
Are you contesting? it?
Yeah. So basically this
that's-
one is a
So
time.
you're just contesting it. Yes.
That's why I have
So
to do something.
is
'cause
my
there's-
last action, and I use those to orbitally deploy
Yes.
Yes.
those 2 spiders.
Now you have to survive that, basically.
Basically, at least 2 that is conveniently exactly here.
That was my
Okay.
worry.
And that was my plan.
So whatever happens now, it doesn't matter, basically.
And they have an action that they could not shoot, so they just
Oh, you don't have the dice to shoot.
to shoot now. But
So
given that the infantry, they don't even need
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw that
so they
now.
just download at the end of the turn, but you don't have any more, so I just download that in the end.
What? That was brilliant. I totally
You
didn't
didn't
see it
notice. No,
at
that was the
all.
plan.
I completely missed that.
At the beginning, I was thinking of making the Xeno run there, but then I say, why? If they move here, I can just deploy
That is
on the
absolutely
objective.
brilliant.
So
I had to
basically,
take a risk on one of them.
yeah, and the other option was to go there. So
That was a better
at some
move,
point,
definitely. I
either,
completely missed that.
either 1 or 2 point.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
So
That's it.
yeah,
So end of the round, we unpin everything, and that's the end.
so
You can reveal the second card. You can reveal both cards.
Yeah.
All of them.
is 3 and 3 with victory
3 plus
point.
3. You're just
I
doing
just
3.
Single 3.
You
And-
lost 1, 2 victory points, and well, these you didn't lose the heavy ones, which would have been 1 extra victory point, but you still lost 1. So you lost 3 victory points here.
So I am
So you're doing 3 victory points at the end.
Yeah.
On the other hand, you lost 1
Yes.
point full and another because you lost the scout and the heavy. So you lost 2 victory points. So it's 3 victory points versus 1.
1.
so yeah.
That was close till the
It
very end.
literally went to the last
To the last action.
action because if from here it went there, that could have been.
Well,
Many things
it
could
has
have
been
happened.
a very nice game. Wow.
if I'd come the other way, I was leaving you with 2 cards, and I couldn't be
Yeah.
certain that you didn't have less than me
I
with 1 card.
Yeah.
But if you're taking 2 cards, you're almost certainly pushing the odds that you're going to be beaten.
Yeah.
I dare to say one of the most contested match
Yes.
we ever done
Yes.
since we created the game.
Yeah, that's
So
true.
I'm very happy to have filmed this one.
Yes, that was a good one to film.
That's
Definitely.
a very good one to film.
I mean, it was a bit technical, like a lot of strong
Yeah.
things in the middle,
But
which
there
is
was
great.
the action here regarding this one that didn't manage to go away.
Which
Quite of
was
a
very
slaughterhouse around here, but in the end, it's sort of
Yeah, a couple of lucky shots which made it a bit less like thematic
it was
here,
a-
but it happens. That's the point of lucky shots.
It was a good one. I'm very
Here's
happy.
lots of stuff happened.
I think if I hadn't been able to knock out the Xeno that got onto my back objective
Yes.
with that, because it was a lucky,
Yeah,
a
that-
lucky kill. If I hadn't got that,
It would be
it would have been
ended.
very different, because
yeah, of
at
course.
that point you were bouncing all the
Oh
way.
yeah, I would have
Yes.
just defended the units. Yes.
But by him moving it there, it was risky, but he also took all your stuff there, and you ended up with 2 of the most valuable units very far away from the action, which was valuable on its own. So
yeah, it wasn't planned. The idea was to just grab
Yeah,
and run
yeah,
away.
but-
But then, yeah, it opened a lot of space on that side of the map.
the
and-
whole game is about resource management, and resources can be ADs, it can be like points, but it can also be like where the units are, and it
Also,
worked.
the battle fatigue arrived because I ended with those that I could have used to jump at zero, and I sort of forgot about that.
That happens too. Well,
I came dangerously close to using my 1 victory card to cancel his activation to bring the little droppers on.
Oh,
yeah.
But then I was going, probably definitely going to lose then, because you've already got a card in your hand. I've got nothing to
I
contest
didn't.
it.
I was at some point. I thought about using them, but the free victory point were
it was scary. Yeah.
Given that it,
Both of you got the card that would cancel an enemy activation during the game. Neither of you used it.
No.
In some situation, it could have been the sort of thing that makes you actually control. Like you could have used it to block this one, for instance, at the very
Yeah.
end, and you would have gotten 2 cards instead of 1.
yeah, but I was
Well,
afraid
3
that
cards, because you would have got 2 from that.
he could have a shot.
Yeah, sure, of course. But
You
2
would have
cards
moved
is-
like this one, maybe
No,
there.
like the last thing he
the
did.
last moment. Oh
you
yeah,
could have
yeah.
used it, but whatever.
Yeah, but at some point I wanted to just pop there.
Yeah, it sounded
because
like
it was
too
funnier.
good not
It
to
was
do.
just funnier.
Yeah, too good not to do.
It's the way
Okay.
to do it.
Nice. That was
Wow.
a full game.
I love it. Love it a bit. What do you think at home, folks? If you've any questions about full spectrum dominance, please drop them below. We'll get the guys to answer them.
Yes,
and
we will.
they can check out everything you do for the Lazy Forger online. We'll put all of the links in the doobly-doo below the video here. So, hope you've enjoyed that, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
We hope you enjoyed this Let's Play. Go ahead and check out our other content on screen now. And while you're at it, why not hit subscribe and remember to ding our dong. Go on, you know you want to click it. Go on.